So Louis McClung is a commentary YouTuber who made like the worst exposed video I've ever seen about this guy named Danky Jabot. And Danky Jabot has now responded and absolutely blown out this little guy. Okay, he's absolutely destroyed him. This, some would call him a soy boy. I wouldn't call him that. It's kind of derogatory, really. But some have said that. Jack Swallow over here. Oh, hey, putting it together, putting the pieces together. And personally, I think that Danky Jabot absolutely owned him. And I loved every second of it.
It's just very ironic considering how much you're criticizing me from running away from my issues.
Throwing stones from a glass house, my friend. So now we get to watch it together and enjoy the glory. But with that being said, chat, it's time to get into the content now. It's been a very big week for Louis McClung. And I feel like this girl Cataclysm is kind of being shoved out of the picture only because everybody reacted to his video instead of her live stream. So we'll signal the context squad here to sort of run it back and see what we're dealing with. So famous YouTuber I'm Alex, perennial sweetie pie of the British Empire. Good guy, as we all know, good guy, great guy, big supporter of him. As you can see here, this one I defended him in this video because I love him. And I'm Alex essentially had this editor at one point in time named Danky Jabot. Okay, he's a fellow YouTuber. All right, he's got a decent-sized audience of his own, which has mostly grown in the aftermath of I'm Alex's channel. And, you know, he used to edit for him, presumably doesn't edit for him anymore because there's no real reason to edit for a guy who doesn't make videos, right? But there were a lot of assumptions being made by a few different people, specifically Louis McClung and Cataclysm. They made videos where they accused him essentially of still being friends with I'm Alex or like defending him. Louis McClung was implying that he was like being kind of like creepy towards Cataclysm during a call they had. Louis McClung said that Danky Jabot was a misogynist because he called the fat hippopotamus from Madagascar a bruh. And had made some other comments about the character design of Lola Bunny from Space Jam that he said was evidence he was a misogynist who couldn't contain his hatred of women. It was a terrible video, and I watched it and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And I didn't honestly expect Danky Jabot to respond because, you know, this is kind of an area of commentary YouTube where they're a little more PC. You know, they're a little more progressive, I guess, which is not necessarily a bad thing inherently. I would say the way they do it a lot of the time is very performative and cringe. But Danky Jabot surprised me when he ended up coming out with a big response. My response to Louis McClung, 51 minutes long, absolutely destroyed him. And this has led to a few different revelations from the community. First of all, we got a community post from Cataclysm. We also got a community post from Louis McClung, which we'll be taking a look at. We also got responses individually from both of them. Initially, Louis McClung did a live stream, which was a horrible response that we're going to go over. And then he privated the live stream and did a video going over it. And it's just been a very cancerous situation. Louis McClung overall just seems like a giant beef curtains are racist. That's true, they are. But Jack Swallow over here got destroyed by Danky Jabot. He thought that he could take on the Egyptians. He thought he could take on those who created the pyramids. I think we got to get into Danky Jabot's absolute destruction, supposedly, of Louis McClung. And I did pre-watch this, so I know what's going to happen. But we're going to get to enjoy it together.
So originally I wasn't going to address this situation because it's all based on petty, baseless gossip and huge lies that frankly weren't worth responding to. But recently it's become so much bigger than I ever thought it would, so I figured I'd set the record straight. For the last few months I've been the target of a harassment campaign from Louis McClung and Cataclysm. They've been lying about me both privately and publicly and passing off huge false assumptions as fact when there is no evidence to support them. The two main claims that they make are that I'm a misogynist and that I'm supporting an abuser. In Louis's video he details all of the supposed allegations.
The accusations against Danky Jabot, aka
God, I just hate the way this guy looks, man. What is he wearing? I still can't get over this. What are you wearing, dude? You're wearing like a corset. Don't wear that, bro. And also, what's up with your voice? How do we help you?
aka Jesse, go as follows: lying to your audience, using hateful, derogatory speech towards women, silencing those who are against you, and lying to and manipulating your audience.
It's funny how he made these 4 claims at the start of the video, and literally none of them were true or even proven from the video. Like, he didn't even have anything to back it up in his video about Danky Jabot. He was just like, he just like threw these things out there. He had his little cringe point system on the right, okay? And he couldn't justify a single one. He couldn't explain a single one with evidence whatsoever. It was literally like, I feel like watching him talk about Danky Jabot and Cataclysm talk about Danky Jabot was like watching 2 people have like mass hysteria or have like delusions in real life. Like just have like they both contracted, I don't even know, schizophrenia or something. They were seeing things that were not real. Bro has a fan blowing on him. A lot of people pointed that out. That is odd.
Those who hold you as sanctity, honestly.
All of these allegations are either lies or baseless assumptions based on nothing but pure conjecture. For those who are unaware, I used to edit for I'm Alex. Me and Alex were not friends during this period, and it was purely a business relationship. In fact, the last time that I ever spoke to the man was when I received my last payment from him 6 months ago. Despite this, Lewis McClung and Cataclysm have made it out as though me and Alex were, and continue to be, close friends, and that I'm even being mentored by him. Obviously, there is no evidence to support this because it's not true, so the two resort to grasping at straws, lying, and making things up to pass me off as an abuse apologist. One of the only pieces of evidence that they show are that our thumbnails are similar.
You can even tell the blatant mentoring through the exact same.
This was like the most thing ever too. Like, it's a thumbnail. Half the people in the commentary community have thumbnails that look like this. The blatant mentoring. Do these guys all hire people to make their thumbnails and never made a thumbnail themselves? Like, this is an easy thumbnail to make. This is not a difficult thing to do. In Photoshop, each of these thumbnails takes like, I don't know, 10 minutes maybe. Max 10 minutes, okay? You put the face through an AI filter to upscale it so it's not so low res. You put your own face there. You use the remove background tool. You add a background onto it, which it looks like in this case most of the time it's this guy's room. It's pretty easy, right? It's pretty simple. But these guys, like, just mentally break down seeing a similar thumbnail. They're like, oh my God, this is evidence. It feels like they came to a conclusion ahead of time that he was friends with I'm Alex, and everything beyond that, they just like warped to somehow fit that perspective.
Same thumbnail design. They use the exact same thumbnail design. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just more proof that he mentored him or taught him his ways.
I mean, these are just YouTube thumbnails. It's ridiculous that these can be counted as any type of evidence that me and him have some sort of relationship. And by the way, this is also a point made by both Cataclysm and an actual old friend of Alex and Jake Baz, who was previously featured on his channel
Not Jake Baz.
before.
When Alex stopped posting because of everything that happened, Jesse then started posting very much in the style of Alex, with Alex's thumbnails, etc., etc.
Coincidentally, your thumbnails seems to be only since he's quit. Your thumbnails have started getting a lot more like Alex's, which is weird.
Is there like some mass hysteria going on? They're just YouTube. They're not that crazy. It's not like I'm Alex is like the head of the SS, okay? And then they're like, he's like taking his like little German rune and putting it in his thumbnails to like signal that he's still a part of the Aryan master race, okay? A part of the Nazis. We're like, it's a YouTube thumbnail. It's like the mark of the beast. It's the mark of the beast, dude. Like, what does this even mean? It's very weird. Jake Baz, do better, Jake Baz, okay? Do better. Everyone's been using the Dogpack corkboard thumbnails in their exposed videos. True. Very cringe thumbnail format. It's not that deep. Well, the problem, you see, Beta, is if you say it's not that deep to these guys, I don't know about Jake Baz, but if you say it's not that deep to someone like Lewis McClung, who'd be like, well, it's just weird. Like, you notice that's their go-to response with everything. Like, if they don't have anything to actually say, they'll just be like, well, it's just like weird. Like, what the f are you talking about? Can you use English? These are the guys that claim to be Lewis McClung, like, he claims to not be a drama channel. He's a commentary channel, which is better, which is the same thing. You pretentious douchebag, okay? But it's like, dude, use fucking English, okay? Explain how you feel. Explain what you're trying to say rather than it's weird.
Why would you only just start doing that now, coincidentally, when he stops uploading?
However, the great irony of this point is that the very thumbnails on the streams that my thumbnails are being criticized on are the exact thumbnail style that somehow prove that Alex is mentoring me. And not only that, but Cataclysm still continues to use the very thumbnails that...
Wow, Cataclysm. Well, you must have personally been working with I'm Alex behind the scenes. You guys must have been sending each other money, photos. Who knows what kind of salacious thing was going on there, Cataclysm, right? Same thumbnails, dude. I hate these thumbnails, by the way. I hate these. The Tom Dark thumbnails are much better, okay? We could never do something like this. These guys, you know, the market that I've cornered over here on the Tom Dark channel, the Tom Dark live channel, is the white outline meta, okay? We had a white outline to everything. That's how you know it's one of my thumbnails. And if these people start doing it, I will sue them.
That she's criticizing me for to this day. By that logic, is she also being mentored by Alex?
Yes, dude. She is, and I know it. An angel came to me in my dream last night and told me that Lewis McClung and Cataclysm are in a group chat with I'm Alex where they talk about their plans for commentary domination, okay? They've been talking about a master race. It's very strange, very strange. You wouldn't expect these three people, two British, one American, one with red hair, one with brown hair, one with black hair. You wouldn't expect these three people to be, you know, seeing themselves as part of a master race, but in fact they are. In fact, I've heard that I'm Alex has named Lewis McClung as an honorary Aryan, along with the rest of the Scots and the Irish. Quite disturbing. Quite disturbing. That's what I've heard, though. That's what I've heard from the angel in my dream.
No, obviously not, because it's just a YouTube thumbnail. And like I said, I haven't spoken to Alex since my last payment from him. He has nothing to do with my channel. Another ridiculous piece of evidence that they use is that I still follow I'm Alex's Instagram account.
Also, what some people have noticed, which is what Katie alluded to in a video as well, is that Danky Jabo is still following Alex. So, this is true. I
like how he's acting like this is like such a concerning thing. He's like, it's very weird if this guy follows I'm out. It's like, dude, because you follow someone on Instagram doesn't mean anything. He could have just forgot that he was following him. Okay. He could just be following him to see his posts, or he could just be following him out of indignance because frankly, following someone on Instagram does not mean anything. That does not mean that you support anything they do. There are so many people who follow me on Twitter who every time I tweet, they just, call me a mean name here and there. Okay. And that's okay. That's all right. They're allowed to do that. Following someone is not a blood pact.
I had a look earlier before.
This guy does look like the Chud. Wait, I think we're onto something. Wait, why does he literally look like him though? Why is this literally him though? What is going on? It's literally the exact same guy. Did they draw him for this? Why is it literally the same thing? That's strange. Life imitates art, ladies and gentlemen. Or does art imitate life? Thomas, 8 a.m. I thought you were a true cell night owl like me. It's over. I'm not. Although I wanted to wake up earlier today. I tried to wake up at 4, but I just couldn't get myself to.
On the stream. So, Dekajabo is following Alex, and he's still followed by Alex as well. So, they're still around each other. That's what I do know.
What does that even mean? They're around each other. How do you know that? How could you possibly know that? Do you have some private info you want to disclose, maybe? How should I reach out to you if I want to chat? Ryan Beard, do you have a Twitter? You have a Twitter, Mr. Beard? Maybe you don't. If you have an Instagram, shoot me a message on the gram, Ryan Beard.
Apparently, and still now, Jesse followed and still follows I'm Alex.
Now, Danky Jabo was still following Alex.
A follow could mean anything. It does not mean an endorsement. Cataclysm, your friend Alice still follows Lewis Buckin on Instagram, who you've publicly called out on your channel before.
I'm just annoyed because why is the commentary scene full of absolute f***ons? Lewis Buckin, you're a idiot. You're a creep. Get offline. I hate you and you should not be online.
The thing that's so annoying about this is how performative it is, right? Like, you don't need to go on this, like, giant diatribe about how morally righteous you are and how you're changing the world and, like, oh, these people are so creepy. Get off the internet. I'm saving the world. Like, these people delusionally believe that they're, like, the police of the internet and they're, like, changing the world for the better. I'm sorry, but you're not. You're a commentary YouTuber. You make entertainment, okay? You make TMZ gossip content, and that's totally fine, okay? But don't come and preach from your Hello Kitty bedroom, okay, about how morally righteous you are. It's so weird. Like, people who are overly performative like this, it makes me think that they're f***ed up secretly because they're so insistent that, like, the world needs to change and they are the one to do it. I'm sorry for following the annoying orange equals I'm sorry I didn't unfollow and subscribe from ancient shit I literally forgot about. I mean, that's literally what it means, yes. Wake up at 4, that's old head behavior. I'm trying to be an old head. Lefty here, annoyed by how the left leaps in logic. I don't even think this is like a lefty thing, though, Math of the Valley, to be clear. I mean, this is a very, like, these people are both, Cataclysm and Lewis McClung are both a very much like, I'm going to sit my white ass down and listen type people, right? And we'll see that very much in Lewis McClung's response and how bad it gets. But this is like an internet autism thing. This is not just like a leftist thing or like a liberal thing. This isn't quite just the libtard problem.
You dirty scumbag. They just don't deserve platforms, do they?
They don't deserve platforms, do they?
They fucking don't.
So does this mean that...
Like, when people say they don't deserve platforms, it's such a weird way to phrase things. When people use this weird Zoomer terminology, gaslighting, platform, media literacy, it's like, dude, please delete your channel. Please delete your channel so I never have to hear from you ever again. You're giving me cancer. You're hurting me.
Alice and Lewis Buckin are close friends and that she's endorsing everything that he's done. I personally don't think so. The next piece of evidence they use is a DM that Cataclysm leaked of me making a joke.
And someone reached out to be like, hey, is there a reason you're still following an abuser? And many people will say this is petty, all right? Who cares about who's following who? But the reasoning they had more concern is because Danky Jabo was previously I'm Alex's editor. So you can already see there's a little bit of concern to be had there. Without jumping to...
Why is there concern? Why is there immediately concern? Because he worked for someone. He was just his boss. He had a job. Are you just like immediately supposed to be friends with your boss and agree with everything they do because you have a job with them? Most people don't like their boss. Newsflash, most people don't have the privilege of liking their boss or agreeing with their boss on anything. They just need a job. They need money. So for you to assume that this guy who's a video editor is somehow like in bed with his boss while he beats women is like
to conclusions, there's some concern to be had. And Danky Jabbo basically responded, taking the piss out of the situation as if it was nothing.
Because one of Alice's friends decided to reach out to him and ask why, if it was an accident, if he meant to unfollow him, or if he just didn't know what was going on, which was unlikely, and is still unlikely, and is very impossible now. Is there any reason you still follow and work for an abusive piece of shit? They're talking about Alex, and there's nobody else they could be talking about. I'm so sorry, mate. I'm not doing an accent. I'm not. You can't know. I'm sorry, mate. I'll unfollow the annoying orange right now. So you defend abusers. I'm Alex, and work for them. And that means they said it there. That means you can't ignore it. That means...
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You literally can't ignore it. So many people send me crazy DMs every day. I ignore them. Somebody has been schizophrenically spamming me on Instagram telling me I need to investigate the lore behind some kind of Fortnite song that they think has satanic messaging in it. They spam me every day. Every day there's a new DM. They're like... They sent me a long DM. Okay, they replied to like every story I've posted in the past like week. They're like messaging me, letting me know they emailed me. I ignored it. Okay, you have a right to ignore anyone. That means you can't ignore it. That means you have to respond. That means you have to you don't have to respond to every loser in your DMs. Oh my god, these people push me to the limit. Okay, these people push me to the limit in an insane way.
Yeah, maybe they could have meant something else. Maybe they could have meant the annoying orange. I don't know. I wasn't there. Maybe the annoying orange was an abusive prick. I wasn't part of the show. I don't know. But the response
Hilarious.
Will baffle you. I would never defend or support the annoying orange. He gaslights all the fruit in the kitchen. How dare you accuse me of such a thing?
Wow, I'm baffled, dude. This is baffling to me. The fact that he would make a joke about someone pestering him in his DMs, policing his followers. The fact you'd make a joke about the annoying orange in response to that, I mean, that is just terrible. That is just, I mean, oh my God. I'm baffled. Clearly this guy supports, clearly this guy is on team. This is all the evidence I need. He's pro beating women, okay? That's all the evidence I needed. A classic dog whistle of the pro movement is talking about the annoying orange, okay? If you ever see someone talk about the annoying orange, we know what they're really talking about, guys. Let's be real. Why are these people so entitled? Because they live in a delusional reality where they think that they're like the police of the world and they need to go out and be like do-gooders. They see themselves as like vigilantes. And so when they find out that a YouTuber is following someone on Instagram, they have a mental breakdown about it, and then giddily, excitedly make videos trying to destroy their career.
Now let's be clear here. It's very obvious that this person was not messaging me just to inquire, as Lewis states.
But before I go any further, today's video is sponsored by Gamer Subs, the best energy drink in the freaking game. They've got a lot of really good flavors, it tastes great, it's way more affordable than other energy drinks or soda, and they also pay me, which is good because it's me. So be sure to use code TOM to get 10% off at gamersubs.gg. Just click the link down in that video description to tap in with the greatest chug juice ever. All right, now back to the video.
This is a complete stranger who was getting hostile with me in my DMs off the bat, and I was honestly sick of people messaging me about my former boss whom I have no involvement with. It's very egotistical and narcissistic to say that people have to take random adversarial DMs seriously, and that if they don't, that they're covert abusers. People aren't actually required to take you seriously if you DM them out of the blue demanding answers despite you being a complete stranger. Now with that being said, obviously what I should have done is ignore it, and I'll admit it was wrong of me not to. But I made this joke to mock the person for sending me this DM and to imply that it's any more than that is simply unfair.
The only reason why it was wrong of you to not ignore the DM, the only reason why it's wrong of you to sort of not respond is because it led these schizophrenic people to make videos slandering you. That's the only reason. It was totally in line to make that joke. You're totally fine to do that. It's totally okay. The problem is that you exist among these creeps, these insane people, who, based on that one DM, somehow managed to extrapolate, on Lewis McClung's part, a 40-minute video, on her part, an hour-and-a-half long video, where they tried to expose you for nothing. That is the only thing you did wrong. You misunderstood the game that these people play, which is that they want to destroy your career for nothing. They're bloodthirsty. They're like piranhas. Hey, Tom, when you're not online, I load up OBS, but I don't record anything. I just pretend to be like you, react to videos and goon for hours. Congrats, bro.
How hard is it to just carry what you say in your videos into real life? And if Danky Jabbo, Jesse, had done that, he would not have replied being like, I would never, like, follow the annoying orange. Like, you would have just been like, yeah, maybe I should take abuse seriously considering my channel and my bills are built upon talking about abuse.
This is like the cringiest part. These people posture as if like they are the ones who take abuse seriously. They are the ones who take these allegations seriously. Okay. When Louis McClung, not even that long ago, apparently had to remove a video because he got an abuse situation wrong. Okay. This girl apparently had to take down a video because she was so transphobic in it. Okay. She was so transphobic. She didn't take the abuse seriously. Okay. Meanwhile, they're having mental breakdowns because this guy made one joke. Can you not make jokes? Can you not joke about serious subjects? Everybody jokes about serious subjects. Literally everybody. Everybody. Is it impossible to take a situation seriously while also making a joke about it? No, obviously these things are not mutually exclusive. And these people wouldn't even agree with that in a vacuum. But in this situation, because they want to destroy Danky Jabbo's career, they will make any insane point they possibly can to justify their position, their crazy worldview.
It's virtue signaling. It is. It is.
I made one joke.
He is not virtue signaling. You are virtue signaling. He's doing the opposite of virtue signaling by making a little funny jab about the annoying orange. You are virtue signaling by pretending that you're the one who takes abuse so seriously because you would never make a joke about such a serious topic.
Joke about the annoying orange, and now you're trying to paint my entire channel out to be manipulative, disingenuous, and virtue signaling, and label me as a misogynist who defends and supports abuse.
Yeah, it's an easy follow. I'm confused on how so many of you are also confused. Alex is an abuser. Danky Jabbo worked for him previously and is now defending him. It's really...
How did he defend him? In what way did he defend him? He made a joke about the annoying orange.
I fear it's not that hard.
No,
I fear it's not that hard. Dude, the smugness, okay? These people cry out in pain as they strike you, okay? They act like they're such victims and this guy's hurting the world, and they drag him down to hell to be at their level. It's disgusting.
I am not, and I never have defended him. A follow on Instagram and a joke about the annoying orange do not count as a defense. You have no actual evidence of this claim because it's very obviously not true. Lewis and Katie also tried to make it seem as though I was being willfully manipulated by Alex.
This apparently made him feel as though he owed Alex some gratitude. If you ask me, that sounds like you're willingly let somebody manipulate you, but that might just be me.
It's like, what the f are they even talking about here? You have no reason to say anything like that. You're just making this up in your head. You have created this alternate reality in which Danky Jabbo is like somehow also a victim of him and is being like abused by him financially, when you have no reason to think that. You just pulled this out of your ass. So much of Louis McClung's video, and so much of the shit that she says as well throughout this video that Danky Jabbo has clipped, is them just like making something up and then treating it as fact and being like, respond. Respond to the thing that I made up about you. Disprove the false allegation I just made about you. Respond now. We need to get McClung back to the pansexual renaissance fair he escaped from. Lock him up, dude. It sucks because Lewis is being celebrated for dunking on Dream now. I'm sure his video about Dream is horrible.
People worked alongside Alex. Alex knew what he was doing to an extent. You have to give him that. People wanted Alex's help, and from what I've heard, Alex did help a lot of people, and people felt obliged to stick by him. And I do think this is definitely a form of manipulation, and I don't necessarily blame every single person who feels iffy about saying anything about Alex because they've helped him. But standing by somebody who has been outed as an abuser or who you know is an abuser just because Alex has done, for example, a little bit for you and helped your career, you're a scumbag, you're an enabler, and you don't genuinely believe in what you're talking about. A little example.
This is like so insane though. Like, once again, you would think to have this conclusion, there would have to be an hour-long video on Danky Jabbo's channel where he defends I'm Alex and is like, actually, Alice has deserved to get punched in the face and pile-drived. And frankly, Alex should have trained like Conor McGregor to beat her up more. Like, that's what you would expect he would have said. But literally all they had was that he made a joke about the annoying orange. And based on that, they wrote this fan fiction in their heads about how evil he is. It's like, I still can't even believe the level of delusion these people are living in. Is this like a, I was going to say, is this a British thing? But Louis McClung isn't even British. They both contracted some kind of horrible psychological disease. Has the annoying orange said anything about this? No. And frankly, his silence is deafening. Thank you, Dr. Ghost, for becoming a member. don't judge, Tom. They're aspiring fiction writers. I mean, they're great at writing fiction. I'll acknowledge that. They're great at making shit up.
Example I have here is I received a screenshot from Alice, which was one of Alice's friends in contact with a content creator called Danky Jabbo.
I wasn't being exploited. I was working a job and being paid for my work. And it was in an industry that I've always wanted to be a part of, so I was grateful for the opportunity. I edited his YouTube videos, and he paid me. I was an employee. That was all that was happening. To try and paint it out as though there was something inherently corrupt going on here is just strange and inaccurate. I worked for him remotely. We never even met personally. He paid me, and we barely spoke. There was really nothing more interesting going on than that.
He's being a dickhead, a doofus, even kind of a, you know, intolerable cringe bastard, but that's fine, that's your right. The problem is that he makes almost only content, almost entirely, almost exclusively on content about either women.
How could that be the problem? How could that actually be the problem, right? Like, this doesn't make any sense. So let's say, hypothetically, Danky Jabbo was actually defending I'm Alex. The real problem would not be that he's defending an abusive guy. The real problem would be that he's hypocritical or something because he calls out abusive people in his YouTube commentary videos. That'd be the real problem. Keep in mind, he wasn't even defending Alex, but this is like people, this is like that like Norm Macdonald bit when he's talking to Jerry Seinfeld, when Norm's like, you know, some people say the worst part about Bill Cosby is his hypocrisy, but I thought the worst part was the it's like when somebody says something like this, you can tell they're just making shit up in their head because they don't have enough to actually get him on as far as like him defending I'm Alex, because he never did that. So now it's like, oh, well, he also calls out abusers and he profits off of it and he doesn't take it seriously. It's like, what the f are you talking about?
In being abused or abusive women. Like, that's, if you scroll down in the past 6 months, that's it.
This is ridiculous to try and paint my channel in a way where I only cover abusive relationships, and then go on to show a screenshot where only one of the 16 videos shown is about an abusive relationship, and to show that video twice in the same screenshot.
Let's see here. So Zach Bryan, I guess, has been called out for some kind of abusive relationship he had or something. Zach Bryan allegations. None of these other things look like abuse. I mean, this is like child neglect, I guess. To them, this is like a... Would they call Smart Schoolboy 9 abusive? Is that what they're saying about him? They're like, well, this is an abusive situation. Like, this is not in the same realm, right? There are multiple kinds of abuse. The idea that every video he makes is like calling out some kind of guy for abusing a woman is
Shot to make it look more like I cover them exclusively is so blatantly manipulative and hypocritical when you're calling me out for being a manipulative hypocrite. Of the 42 commentary videos that I have made thus far, only 3 of them are about abusive relationships. So to claim that this is the only type of content that I make is just one of the many lies that have been levied against me. Lewis and Cataclysm have also said on a live stream that I have talked openly about being taught by Alex.
Then you have to understand that abusive people are not those to coddle. They're not those to, you know, hold dear. They're people to, sure, talk with and understand, but not to forgive, not to work with and take it.
Thank you very much, dude. Thank you for educating me. I'm glad that this English scholar, okay, this English major, this genius of literature is informing me about how we shouldn't be hanging out with abusive guys. Thank you, dude. Thank you very much. Tom, can we live in an abusive relationship in email? We definitely can. I do that every day, actually. I abuse every person I come in contact with, make no mistake. Financially, verbally, physically. With girls, I, withhold my love from them to get them to do things for me. With my employees, I beat them ravenously. I ravenously beat them to make sure they do my bidding. With friends, I emotionally manipulate them into sexual favors. That's basically the whole situation for me, right? That's just like the thing that I tend to do. But that's just like a personal choice. Like, I don't think that reflects my content, It's like a personal thing. It's like a personal thing.
Advice from, because according to him,
game is
in
game.
certain situations, he might still be taking tutelage from I'm Alex, which is a...
Once again, like, he might still be taking tutelage. Tutelage. He might still be taking tutelage. What evidence do you have for that? You're just making this up. You're connecting dots that don't exist. It's not even you're connecting dots that can't be connected. You're making the dots, you're connecting them, and then saying, respond! Respond to the thing I just made up about you. Now. Tom called me a November. True, I did. Nothing wrong with some of that November Juliet in the morning. Shout out Gamer Sups.
a big issue.
What do you mean, according to me? When have I ever said anything that might even slightly suggest that I've been receiving tutelage from him? The answer is never, which is why neither Lewis nor Cataclysm ever give any examples, because it's not true. I need to make it so incredibly clear. I have not spoken to this man since my last payment from him, which in and of itself was a completely standard business conversation, as he owed me money for the work that I had done on his channel. I genuinely have no idea what the two of them could be referring to here. He even says that me and Alex must be in contact because we have the same editing style.
Right?
Sure,
They have
that's
the
probably
same thumbnail design.
if
They have the same content design. They do the same editing technique.
He edited for him. Is this not the easiest thing to explain in the world? Danky Jabbo, as these guys say, I'm Alex's editor. So he was the one editing Alex's videos and his own. Therefore, it would make sense that they're similar because it's his editing style. What is wrong with these people? Do they think that when you're hired as an editor, do they think that the guy who hired you edits them himself and then pays you for nothing? Like, these people exist in an alternate reality. They're not in the world that we are in, okay? Once again, lock them up in Arkham forever. Kai Cenat's going to be playing Arkham Asylum soon on stream. He's going to turn the corner. Lewis McClung and Cataclysm better be there. If they're not there, I'll be disappointed in our justice system, frankly, okay? Gotham has fallen.
That
It's
would
a
be
big
well
problem.
well the whole similar content style that's how all these types of communities work in general. Like, there's usually a community and then everybody
It's not even
copies the same
vaguely
style.
similar. It's almost the same.
Maybe it's because I was his editor. Obviously, the edits are gonna be the same. I was the one doing both of them. We make commentary videos. None of us are exactly reinventing the wheel here.
No, but you have to understand, dude. In the words of Lewis McClung, okay, he's a commentary channel, not a drama channel. And commentary videos are better than drama videos. Whatever the that means. Whatever that means, dude. You're making high art under the tutelage of a woman beater. Of a serial woman MMA fighter, okay? Of a co-ed MMA. I'm Alex as a co-ed MMA fighter, and he was very successful. Careful, Tom. They're going to out you for joking next. Whatever. Good. Please. Thank you, Repulsive Artichoke, for becoming a member. Jack Swallow back at it again. Okay, head game insane.
Problem is he's making this content, and then this is how he actually treats a case that he is involved with, involving the abuse of a woman.
What do you mean he treats a case he's involved with? You're saying it like he's the detective. He's a YouTuber. What involvement does he have? He edited for a guy for a few months. He was paid by him, and he made a joke about the annoying orange. What is wrong with this guy? I still can't get over it. I feel like I'm just vicariously watching my own reaction again and just realizing how crazy it is. If you're commenting on drama that's a commentary video and a drama video, lol. I mean, the weird thing to me, Ryan Beard, is like, these guys just have this weird pretentiousness about their content. They think they're like, they think they're like in another realm. I don't know why. Is it because they turn their camera on? Is it because this guy has like a gay fan blowing on his hair? Is that it? I don't know what it is.
You not see the problem there?
The only reason I am now involved in this is because you are insisting that I know these people when I worked for Alex briefly and I didn't know Alice at all. If it wasn't for your input, then I still would have nothing to do with any of this. You've made this a problem by making things up to get mad at, and you've been doing that the whole time. Katie even says this on her stream as justification for why she had to confront me.
But there are still speculation that he and Alex may be working together behind the scenes.
The only reason this speculation exists now is because of you. There were no rumors about any of this before you started harassing.
Yeah, exactly. There's speculation he needs to respond to. No, you made it up in your mind, Cataclysm. Lewis McClung then repeated that, okay? He made it up in his mind as well. You guys had your collective mass schizophrenia. And then you're like, respond! An angel came to me in my dream last night, okay? And told me that Lewis McClung is a... Lewis, respond now. Respond right now. Respond to the allegation that I just made up about you. Average Tukey Tom L, the gay pirate guys on the right. You're right, dude. You're right. I'm nothing.
Me publicly.
But Cataclysm was approached by Jesse not too long ago. I think it was also...
Approached. He was approached, dude. He was approached at the office.
About 5 to 6 months ago, when she was approached by Jesse. And Jesse wanted to talk with her, okay? They made similar content. They had similar subcounts. This is her words. And so he asked to call her, which, if you ask me, calling people has a stigma around it for a reason.
What does this even mean? I was so confused by this. Calling people has a stigma. What stigma is there? If you ask me, calling people has a stigma. I've never heard this once in my life. Are you scared when you have to call someone? You have like a mental breakdown? Do you have autism? What stigma is there around a phone call? When the phone rings, do you just like cower in the corner in fear? Like, oh, there's such a stigma. There's a stigma.
You can just text people, man. If there's no reason to call, like if it's not urgent or anything, there shouldn't be any reason.
If there's something inherently wrong with calls, then why do you want to do an interview with me like you state later on in your video?
Come on my show. Come on here. I will interview you unbiasedly.
I love this part where he's like, dude, come on my channel for an unbiased interview. I just made shit up about you for 40 minutes. Now come on my show so I can farm you for content and interview you about the shit that I just made up. I'm unbiased, by the way. Like, what the f are you talking about? What do you mean? Hey, I know I just made up that you support this abusive guy. Now come on my show. Come on my show to debunk the allegations, dude. Imagine what they'll say when they figure out you're friends with a gun-crazed YouTuber. That's true, dude. Many of them even. Many fascist bootlickers.
I will ask you questions. That is what I will do, okay? I'm offering you this proposition.
This is just such a reach. I messaged her because she followed me and we were at similar sizes. All I did was go, hey man, we should hop on a call sometime. For you to try and paint this out as something nefarious is incredibly disingenuous and manipulative.
He mansplained how to be a better YouTuber to Cataclysm for like 2.5 hours. And then, at the end of those...
Why does he even say this? Like, this guy claims to treat allegations seriously. He then just takes this mansplaining thing, okay, whatever this weird claim is. He says this in his YouTube video as if it is fact, with no proof whatsoever. He has not heard this call. He was not there. He does not know what happened there, okay? He just says this with no reason to believe it whatsoever. And what's funny about this is even, like, Cataclysm didn't even say that he mansplained. Cataclysm, at least in the Papa Gut interview, said that he was like perfectly fine in the call and like they had a nice conversation. It was like whatever, right? But Lewis is just like, he mansplained. Thank you for defending women, dude. Thank you so much for being the one guy that will stand up for women out there. You're the guy who's doing the right thing. You're defending the women out there from the mansplainers, all right? You understand chicks, all right? You're a soft, sensitive guy who understands chicks. You're just a chill guy. All these other guys don't get it, but you would never mansplain. Can you even mansplain to a man? I'm sure I could find a way. Mansplaining, specifically when a man explains something in a condescending way, a man simply explaining something is not mansplaining. People don't understand these terms. But the thing is, Ryan, like, okay, you know, I'm going to diverge from you here. I don't think that mansplaining is a valid term to even use. I think it's so dumb. But there are kinds of guys, okay, they do exist, where they do get a rise out of talking to girls and like telling them how it is, okay? This kind of guy does exist. The problem here is like, this guy uses this term so flippantly when he doesn't even know what happened in that call. He was not there. He just took what Cataclysm said, I guess, and then ratcheted it up to 11 and put it in his YouTube video. Louis McClung, Folia do. True, dude.
2 hours. Apparently, Cataclysm jumped on the opportunity to ask him why he said the annoying orange bullshit, into which he hung up, ran away, and unfollowed her.
I don't know what Cataclysm told you, but this is not what happened at all. The call was not 2.5 hours long. I have it right here. It was 40 minutes. And you claim that at the end of the call I ran away when the screenshot was brought up. No, I explained exactly to Cataclysm what I've been explaining to you this video. That I edited for Alex, that I was grateful for the opportunity that he gave me, that we were never friends, and I haven't spoken to him in months. This part of the call was conveniently left out of her.
Even like little details like the 2 hour and 40 minute thing. Like Louis McClung says that so flippantly, so confidently, as if it is the case, when he didn't even know. Like these people who proclaim to care so much about allegations have no standard of evidence. Even when making a video that should be, in their eyes, such an easy slam dunk, right? Even when making this, they can't prove a single thing they say. They just pull it out of their ass and treat it as if it is true.
A retelling of events, however. Now, this would be a my word against your scenario, but there's actual evidence for this. When the call ended, Cataclysm messaged me saying this. Yo, thanks for calling, man. Appreciate it. If you ever want to join call with us, feel free. Gives you a chance to talk to more people. Kiss. Do those sound like the words of somebody who just got abruptly hung up on? I personally don't think so.
Dude, clearly that's evidence that she got abused in that call, okay? Danky Jabbo diddled her over Discord, and this DM is proof of it. Whenever I have a bad interaction with someone, I immediately send them a message being like, hey, man, if you want to call more, hop in my group chat. We'll all have a chat in my gay little commentary group that we hang out in and exchange topics and plot against other people and pray on their downfall. This is why like, dude, YouTubers are so weird, man. Commentary YouTubers even are so weird. Oddballs. Every commentary community that gets big in this way is unreal, especially the British. The British have always been a blight on this earth, all right? The redcoats got to go. Oh, new fan art from Coco Creatura. This is like some Smiling Friends type thing. Shout out. That's pretty cool, dude. Major moves being made.
I'm very concerned that these YouTubers have made videos on me based purely on gossip and baseless accusations with no evidence of how the conversations they say went down actually went down. I didn't join Katie's call with her friends, and now they've all gone and made negative videos on me which were not reflected by the messages that I was receiving at the time. At this point, she had unfollowed me on Instagram, and I just really did not think that it was a big deal at all. In my mind, if she had unfollowed me, it'd probably just be best if I had unfollowed her, just as I told her in the DMs that she ended up leaking.
Can we
But once again, like, the weird thing about this is even once again with the small details, like the unfollowing thing. Like, Lewis McClung had no evidence that they unfollowed each other in the order that Cataclysm said it happened. But Danky Jabot, because he made the annoying orange joke, was just assumed to be some kind of evil woman-beating defender. And so Lewis McClung just took that and ran with it as fact. Everything Cataclysm said was just fact to him because he's friends with him. Like, this is like some Nick is not green shit. This is like peak Nick is not green autism. Pure cancer. More like Lewis McCum. That's a good one, dude. You got him. He's owned. Bro, I'm trying to be fair here.
call real quick? I know why you want to call. You don't want it to be in text message so that she can't screenshot it, so that she can't prove to the world that you might not do as you preach.
You might not do as you preach. You can just record the call. You can just record it, dude. I'm going to pop out my wisdom tooth stitches, okay? You can just record the call. You can just record it. It's so easy. Do you not know how to use OBS? Are you disabled? You don't know how to use a computer? You're a YouTuber. You don't know how to use a computer? What is wrong with you?
You sly bastard. You thought you could just hide around being kind of a quirky, weird dude. You know, somebody you might just call because they don't like to text. No. You don't want...
He didn't even say, I want to call because I don't like to text. You just assumed that about him. What did this guy do? Who did this guy hurt that he's hiding from? This guy is so... Everything is just so... It's screaming projection at me. What did this guy do that we're going to find out about? This guy been gooning in his room for 10 years straight? Has he been covering his skin in his own shit? And we're going to see a picture of it soon. This guy is so odd.
Want the chance of there being receipts out there. That's even more weird. That's even worse. Oh my god. That's even worse, dude. You can't just... I'm glad I pieced that together because I don't think anybody's made that point.
Wow, dude. You're a detective, dude. I'm glad you pieced that together. Thank God. Sherlock Holmes over here. Jack Swallow over here. Jack Swallow over here. Oh, hey, putting it together, putting the pieces together. You thought you'd never get me, Jack Swallow. I thought you'd never get me. And then you made the point about the recording the Discord call. It was crazy. Oh, wait. I couldn't believe it. Detective Puis McBum. Got him. You did get him, dude. Tom screaming made me shit myself. My bad, bro. Loses teeth, gains wisdom. I think I lost the wisdom. I think I'm getting worse.
Yet. Yeah, Detective Lewis McClung.
You're right. Nobody has made this point before. Maybe because it's dog shit. It's very obvious that some people prefer calls because they're just quicker and more convenient. It's perfectly fine to ask for a call, as you have literally done in this video. You're using the fact that I tried to call someone as some sort of weird manipulation tactic, despite the fact that I later immediately agreed to text instead. It's just another one of your many baseless accusations.
Bro, I was trying to tell you.
Are these guys texters or something? Side note. Are Cataclysm and Lewis McClung, are they big texters? I hate texting. Texting is cancer. Texting is a blight. Yes, I don't want to spend all day messaging you on some cringe app to try and get the answer. I'd rather just call you, end the call in 2 minutes, got my answer, it's done. I don't want to be texting all day. It's gay.
You that screenshot, the screenshot of the annoying orange stuff, is you blatantly mocking abuse. And you came to me, out of all people who have which you clearly had, been on my channel, you'd realize I've been abused too.
I spoke to Katie because she followed me and we were at similar sizes like I
want to see that DM. Police? Bro, I was trying to tell you that screenshot is you blatantly mocking abuse. And you came to me of all people who you clearly had been on my channel, you realize I've been abused too. No, maybe people weren't thinking about the fact you were abused. You narcissist. Nobody is messaging you thinking about how you got diddled or something. Nobody's thinking about that, you freak. Okay? Nobody cares. The first thing I think of when I'm messaging someone is not, oh, did they get abused? Like, this is like such a side note. What is wrong with these people? These people are so in their own head. They're so narcissistic. They have such crazy main character syndrome.
I've been abused too.
I spoke to Katie because she followed me and we were at similar sizes like I said. The fact that anyone may have been abused was not on my mind at all, because why would it be? It was just one YouTuber talking to another. I don't know why people think I'm involved in anything else. One joke about the annoying orange because I didn't want people bothering me has somehow turned into me defending an abuser and being I'm Alex's best friend.
Is that, yeah, that's a little stupid of you. You know, to come to somebody and be like, I know how to YouTube better than you. You should ask me questions and we should like call and stuff. Honestly, it sounds like he was trying to like.
When you assume that somebody is like this, when you assume that somebody having a normal call with someone else is like some kind of manipulative thing to like get in their pants, I have to question what's going on in your head, Louis McClung. If you assume that it's like a perfectly normal interaction is somehow a guy trying to some girl, I have to assume that you are like that. Because there's no reason to assume that this is the case at all. Even Cataclysm, at least from the Papa Gut stream I saw, didn't even say that. So this guy's just like making this up in his mind. He's like writing the character of who Danky Jabot is inside of his brain to front load this video with so much bullshit and assume that he's a horrible person. Ron Weasley's weird cousin. True. Thank you for the dono, Michael.
Like flirt. I don't know. I don't want to assume or presume or assume or presume. He might have
I don't want to assume or presume.
been
I've been in a relationship.
I don't want to assume anything. I don't want to assume anything, dude. But I think this guy's evil. I don't want to assume anything, but I'm pretty sure this guy's evil. But I'm not assuming. I just think he's evil, not assuming. He's so odd, man.
Now for 2 years. My girlfriend was literally in the room with me as I was on call with Katie, who is also in a relationship. To tell your audience that I might have been trying to flirt with Cataclysm based on absolutely nothing is so deeply inappropriate that I can barely believe you thought this would be a good idea to put in your video. Not only is it obviously completely false, but much like everything else in this video, it's based on nothing but your own ignorant and uneducated assumptions.
These guys are like, once again, the reason why Louis McClung said that is just to strengthen his case a little more, right? Because he needs to have something. He needs to have something on Danky Jabot to make him look like a weird guy. But literally all he has is that he follows I'm Alex on Instagram and made the annoying orange joke. And from that, he managed to extrapolate this crazy alternate reality in which this guy is like creeping on girls, he's defending I'm Alex, he's mansplaining.
I'm very confused as to why the two of you are acting as though you know me personally. We were never friends.
It's irritating that people act in these type of allegations without getting both sides IRL all the time. The problem isn't even that they didn't get both sides, though. Like, sometimes you don't need to get both sides. Sometimes there's enough evidence on one person that you can just make a video and it's like, okay, this guy's a piece of shit, right? Like with Lion Maker, do you need to get his side? Probably not, okay? With Dr. Disrespect, you need to get his side? Probably not. But with this situation, like there was nothing to begin. There was no side in the first place. There was no side in the affirmative for the allegation. There was no evidence of anything. It was just bullshit that they said as if it was fact.
I don't know you, and you definitely don't know me. I keep my relationships and my private life as private as I possibly can, and I'm now having to divulge information because of stupid assertions like how I was trying to flirt with Cataclysm. Does Louis not understand that it is possible for a man and a woman to interact with each other with no flirting being involved at all?
But if you can't handle the conversation of abuse with some class and decency and some kind of nuance, then you shouldn't be allowed to do it. The reason...
Once again, the policing, the class and nuance. You're not educated. You don't have enough media literacy like I have to discuss this. You just made a video where you just lied about someone for an hour and you have the gall within that video to be like, you can't handle the situation with class and nuance, dude. You can't handle it with class and nuance. What are you talking about? What nuance are you showing throughout this video when you just make something up about someone and treat it as fact? You claim to care about abuse, and then at the first sign that you get a little bit of drama against someone because they follow someone on Instagram, you make a whole video claiming they defend abusers. You clearly don't actually give a fuck about abuse. Louis McClung, you do not give a fuck about abuse. You don't give a fuck about you don't care about you have no moral objection to it outside of the fact that you can make YouTube commentary videos shitting on people. Just be honest, okay? Just be honest. You wanted a drama. You wanted a big video. You wanted to expose another commentary YouTuber and be praised for it, okay? That's what it was. That's all it is. That's literally all this is.
The reason that these topics do well is because they are interesting and intricate and require nuance. They require an ability to understand it and put yourself in the shoes of the people who suffer and the people who do it. And if you can't do that, you know, when somebody approaches you, you can't even just ignore them. You just make stupid jokes mocking the gaslighting and abuse of a random woman who you might have known or might have not known. Either way, it's weird. I think he did know her. That's the worst part, okay?
Once again, I think he did know her. What does it matter what you think? You don't know anything. You have no knowledge of anything, okay? You're literally like Deji, okay? I have no knowledge of any of this. This is so bizarre. You have no knowledge. You don't know anything. You claim to be educated. You have no reason to believe any of this. You have no idea whether or not Danky Jabot knew Alice has it all. You have no idea how deep his relationship was with I'm Alex, and you just come up with this shit in your head, all these assumptions. You're an insane person. You are crazy. Leave your bedroom for once. At the end of this video, this guy talks about how he has no friends and like was a loser and got bullied in high school. Should have happened more. Your parents gave you too much love if you're like this. I'm sorry. You don't have enough hardship in your life. Please quit YouTube forever. Your opinion is worthless. You are nothing.
That's the dumbest part.
Again, I don't know what Katie was telling you, but me and Alice have never even exchanged a word with each other. Just like the idea that I'm flirting with Katie, this is yet another baseless and untrue accusation with the sole purpose of painting me out to look as bad as possible. Very ironic when you just made the claim that I am unable to handle topics with class, nuance, and decency.
Deleting all the messages too. Oh, that's how you, oh, you f***ed up there, buddy. Oh, that was stupid. Saying that and doing that, we have images here of proof that he started deleting messages so that it was harder to read and whatever. Oh, that hurts my head. Okay, I don't understand how you can act this way and then literally type out, yeah, I'm gonna delete this now, mate.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna delete all these now.
I'm gonna stop doing that. I actually didn't want to do it, but now...
I love how this guy thinks he's got such an own on Danky Jabba because he deleted the messages. Maybe he just deleted the messages because you guys are weird freaks who are going to screenshot everything he does and try to make something out of nothing. Maybe that's why. There's nothing inherently wrong with deleting messages with someone because you just don't want to deal with them, okay? Not everybody has time to deal with you losers screenshotting everything they say, taking it out of context, and trying to make it seem like you defend a guy who beats girls, okay? Not everybody has time to deal with you. In fact, I'd argue that nobody does. But this is like his great own. It's like, oh, you deleted the messages. Clearly that means that you were... Bro is soy incarnate. I think Lewis is a nice guy. True.
Now it's growing on me, okay? But you deleting the messages means you understand that people seeing this would ruin your reputation. People see...
Ruin your reputation. Look how confident this guy is, too. This guy in the same video was like, I don't want to cancel you. Meanwhile, he's like, you deleting these messages would, if anybody saw what you truly said, what you're truly like, the hypocrisy would ruin your reputation. You need to respond. You don't care about abuse.
Seeing this would understand that maybe you don't deserve to be talking about these situations. You have no right, some would say.
I deleted the messages because people seem to leak messages.
For the next 2 hours, your ass is mine! Thank you, Anna, for becoming a member. New Nightmare Blunt Rotation drop for 2025. Eden is online. Lewis McClung. In Praise of Shadows. Jake Doolittle Lex. I think I would rather myself than see that exist in real life. I would not be able to live through that. I'm sorry. I just wouldn't be able to do it.
And I did not want to be involved in any petty drama. It was not a malicious move, else I wouldn't have warned Cataclysm that I was about to delete them. Obviously that didn't work, as Katie was screenshotting the conversation in real time, because the purpose of this all, from the beginning, was to entrap me. They have run with a bunch of complete fiction to make it seem as though that I am involved in something that I have no part in, to the point where they are fabricating that I was flirting with Cataclysm and may have known Alice when we never interact.
That's the thing. You know these guys were in their little group chat plotting on this guy like, oh, I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him. I'm going to screenshot all the DMs before he even deletes them so he can never delete them and I can expose him and I know he defends I'm Alex. Like, these people went into the situation with a narrative in mind that they wanted to prove, and in their mind, they got it once they made their video. They had a conclusion before even starting the investigation.
But there are a bunch of clips from his actual literal videos, past or new.
Actual literal videos, past or new.
That he says just some weird things in. Like this one from Madagascar 2, I think. Sorry, I never saw that one. I just watched 1 and 3 because those movies are infinitely better.
Speaking of whoring out, Gloria from Madagascar is an annoying whore, whose lines consist only of men and ogling men and having sex with men.
Wow, the misogyny. The absolute misogyny displayed throughout that clip is, I mean, frankly, how could you even say something like that about a hippopotamus? It's so gross, dude. It's so gross.
Oh my God, you can't just suppress your hate for women for 1 second? You can't do that. Hold on. So let me get this
You can't do that? It's a hippo.
straight. Being a woman and then thinking about only men, let's say there is somebody who does that, makes you a whore?
Yes! That is what a is! Yes! That makes you a whore! Yes, if you're a woman who lives only for male approval, yes, you are a whore. Yes. Yes, actually. I'm standing on business today and letting you know that does make you a whore. Yes. If you only live for male approval and constantly try to get men's attention, and that's your entire focus of your life is what men think about you, you're telling me that makes you a whore? Yeah. Yeah. My stitches are gonna pop out of my face, dude. Yes.
Huh? Who made that decision? Hey, who made that rule? Hey,
Me. I'm the head of the patriarchy and I'm making the rule. Okay? I'm making the rule. What woman convinced him otherwise? We win when we make the right decision, not when we see the result. At that moment, we are only reaping the fruits of our victory.
Who made that rule? Who made that like a normal thing that we all agree with? Oh, that's right, nobody did. That's just a weird thing to say.
That's just a weird thing to say, dude. That's just a weird thing to say. Dude, what a weird thing. Why would you say something like that? It's just like, it's kind of like giving toxic masculinity. It's kind of like weird energy. Like, oh, dude, yeah. Why would you, I mean, even using that word is like, just, I'm ashamed that I even used it, you know, as a man. I feel like I don't have a right to use that word. It's been used to oppress women for centuries, systemically. Shut up. Quit. Delete your channel now. You have no value. You're nothing. Okay? You are a summer ant climbing up through the cracks because you keep smelling danky Jabba's Egyptian syrup. Okay? Your life is worth nothing. Nothing. You should delete your channel now.
Not only did I not say that at all, but to claim that I hate women because of something I said jokingly about a cartoon hippo 3 years ago is ridiculous.
Or maybe this one about Lola Bunny. Just hold on. Just wait till the end of the clip. Just wait. Just give it a second.
Her design is interesting to look at and is animated very impressively in the original Space Jam, especially for the time. And whilst her character at its core is a simple love interest, at least she had a character. In the god-awful sequel, she looks like shit. And I'm not talking about her tits being smaller. I mean, her design as a whole is horrendously ugly and boring to look at.
Her what? Ah! Oh, God! Sorry, I had to, you know, get that out. You understand. Why must you
I don't understand, actually. I actually don't understand. I actually don't. Why is that so bad? Is it because he said the word tits? Is that it? He said the word tits?
you feel as though you have to make these remarks?
This comment was made in response to the weird online discourse that they had nerfed Lola Bunny in Space Jam 2.
And you could easily tell that from the video too, because he was like, I'm not talking about her tits being smaller. I'm not talking about that. Like, it was so obvious when I watched the video that that was the context. But this guy, I don't even think this guy had seen this video in full. I think Louis McClung just took that clip because someone sent it to him. Maybe he saw it on Twitter. Maybe he saw it on Reddit. He was like, oh, that's kind of weird. And he just put it in the video. Thank you, Mr. Metal Michael, for becoming a member.
Talking about how my criticism for the character went beyond stupid shit like her just being nerfed. Once again, though, for somebody who talks about nuance, it's incredibly ironic that your evidence for me being a virtue signaler who hates women is something I said about a cartoon rabbit 3 years ago. And I'm not talking about her tits being smaller.
Her what? Ah!
I said the word tits in an old...
I love the fake cringe reaction. I love the, oh, that's so weird. Why would you say that? That's making misogynist. Dude, I literally hate these people. I cannot contain my hatred. They gotta go. Thanks for the dono, Emma. Happy birthday.
Video. Can we be adults here? Like, what are we actually doing? Why is...
Well, if you were an adult, you wouldn't make such weird comments about the cartoon rabbit, okay? Lola Bunny is a woman, okay? And just because she only thrives off of male attention and her entire life revolves around what men think about her, okay, just because that's her entire motivation does not mean that she is a W slur. I don't even want to say it.
Is this in your video?
Okay, and these are all, I think, pre him becoming a drama commentary YouTuber. And I think these videos have since been deleted because...
Once again, like, why do you have to say, I think? You're a YouTuber. Your job is to do the research. Why can't you just figure it out? Why can't you just go through his backlog and see if those videos are deleted or not? It's so easy to do that. It's literally the easiest thing in the world. It's so simple. It's not even like hard research. You just click on his channel and go through the old videos and see if they're there. It's that easy. There are even tools where you can install extensions on your computer where you can search for a quote on someone's entire channel from all the transcripts, and YouTube will sort through it for you so you can see which video that quote is from and see if it's still up. It's that easy. And you couldn't do the bare minimum. You are lazy. You are lazy. You do not give a about anything apart from making a video where you get to cancel this guy.
Ooh, now 100,000 plus people are gonna see you say this stuff?
He then goes on to say that I deleted those videos, which is once again another lie that can easily be checked just by looking at my channel. The videos are still up because there's nothing wrong with them, other than the fact that they're old and badly made, I guess.
Can't have that. That's not good. But more recently, do you know what he said?
Mannerisms, he's so sassy. To all the girls watching this who like sassy men, if this doesn't get your beef curtains in a twist, then I don't know what will.
So, I've been informed that that phrase...
Came across my desk this morning, got a little notice, got a call from my lawyer. They let me know that that phrase is actually quite racist, dude. She's a whore! Ralphie Cifaretto, he did say that. She was a whore! Oh. True, dude. This guy is Ralphie. This is Ralphie This is Ralphie day one, okay? This is before the prostitute allegations.
Is a derogatory one rooted in racism and misogyny.
This was a point that was
Thank you, dude. Thank you for telling me you got informed. You got educated about it, dude. Thank you. I've just recently been informed that the N-word is apparently a racist term. As a white man, it's not my position to speak on that subject, but I've been informed of that. So please refer to the POC creators I have linked in the description to talk about it, okay?
also made by Cataclysm in her stream about me.
When people insult women by saying their genitals look like roast beef, you're basically saying that the color of their genitals isn't the color that it is in. It hasn't been bleached, which is insulting to so many women, because the only women that are likely to have that color vagina are most likely going to be women of color.
I love when like these white cornbread, okay? These people who are whiter than me, all right, somehow, if you can believe that, they're whiter than me, are like posturing about how they're like advocates for black people, for the POC community. I wish what she was saying was true, to be honest. I wish it was true, but it's not. There are plenty of white women with very dark features in other ways, okay? This is a known fact of science.
It just doesn't really make any sense. The only women that aren't going to have pigment on their are white women.
With all
That's just not the case. That's just not the case, dude. I mean, you know, it kind of comes down to the question of if you consider like Italian women white, or if you consider like Armenian women white. But even, you know, a lot of women who are, you know, white as snow, you would expect maybe things would be pink in that department, are not. In fact, they are not of that ilk. Things are looking a little bit dyed, a little bit magenta, okay? A little bit what's that hair dye all the women use? I don't know what it is. I'm gonna look up what's that hair dye the women use. L'Oreal, Garnier, Clairol, Wella, Madison Reed. There's this one they use. It's like Disco Panic or something. That's the one that I'm thinking of. The emo chicks use. They put that on their is the thing at birth, and that's just the situation. Yeah, Manic Panic. That's what I'm thinking of. Manic Panic, dude. That's the one. A lot of girls have Manic Panic, despite their skin not really communicating that kind of situation. That is what's going on. Okay, that is what's going on there. Okay, and it's dark. It's dark in a very literal sense, but also a metaphorical sense.
all due respect, I was raised in Egypt and now live in Scotland. Having spent my whole life as a man of colour, I do not need Lewis McClung and Cataclysm to explain what racism is to me.
Sit your Egyptian ass down and listen to these white people while they explain to you about racism, okay? Do it. Sit your Egyptian ass down and listen. All right? It is kind of nuts, though. It is kind of nuts. These guys argued with the guy who built the pyramids. Okay, this guy's descended from King Tut and Cleopatra. He's the direct descendant of both of those people. Now they're trying to come and explain to him about how the pyramids were built. He made them!
What you've both done here is take very obvious jokes out of context and you're deliberately spinning them in bad faith, even going so far as to allege that I'm a racist and that I hate women. Once again, none of you know anything about me, and I have no idea why you thought this would be remotely appropriate.
But it is.
And the funniest part about this, once again, is like, these guys are like the CEO of like calling other people racist. White as snow, by the way. Cracker as but they're the CEOs of calling other people racist, right? This is like my favorite thing. My favorite thing in the world is when white people are like crusaders against racism. They're trying to put a stop to it, all right? They're pointing out the racism in their own community. Hey, I heard you, as an Egyptian dude, said the word beef curtains. Did you know that that's clearly a racist thing? You know that's clearly a racist term, dude? It's like pinnacle of like white guilt mentality, okay? White savior complex. I love it. I love these guys. They're my favorite kind of people.
It's just giving misogyny.
It's just giving misogyny. It's just giving misogyny. It's like, you know, like, when like you say a word like that, it's like, you know, you just only get that term from pornography. And like, you know, the fact that like he would like make a joke about like I'm Alex is like, what the like, bruv, in it, like, why would you say something like that? Yeah, it's just like kind of weird, you know. Like, you know, I'm not trying to say anything, but I think that Jakey Dabo is like raping maybe on the down low in the DMs.
Honestly, Cataclysm, I agree with that point entirely. It's just a weird thing to say. And like, as a white man, it's not really my place to speak on this issue, but I've been informed by people of color in my community that beef curtains is an inherently racist term. Yeah, it's like, you know, just like giving like, kind of weird, you know, like, it's like weird, yeah. It's just like, weird, yeah. It's kind of disgusting, yeah. It's kind of disgusting. Like, I was abused a lot. You came into my DMs a lot telling me about YouTube advice, yeah. It's just like, what's going on, yeah? And then you try to delete the messages, yeah. Respond to my allegation I just made up about you, yeah.
Piss flaps. That's a new one. I haven't heard piss flaps before. That must be a racist term.
Women already have so much pressure on them.
Women have so much pressure on them
to have their bodies, live up to the societies of corn.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not like a big fan of Limp Bizkit, yeah, but like I do like corn, yeah, like I like that song like Free on a Leash, yeah. It's like good when they say like boom da da neighbor, yeah, but it's like like it's still kind of problematic the way that corn is like propped up when it's kind of problematic, yeah. Like you could at least listen to Deftones instead,
The beauty standard is insane. When people insult women by saying their genitals look like roast beef.
Was I insulting women by saying that their genitals look like roast beef, or was I ultimately just making a quip that meant nothing? The two even go.
Well, it's just like, it's like giving misogyny, yeah?
Just off. I hate these people.
Go as far as to assert that I have a pornography addiction.
It's giving addict.
It's like giving like, because like, like when you listen to like Deftones, it's like kind of like women coded, but if you listen to Korn, it's like, when they get into the later albums, like that weird dubstep thing they did with Frank Yang, it was like, what's that, it's kind of weird. Oh no, his name is Steve Aoki, I'm sorry. That was my internalized racism against the goons. Like, Vietnam. Honestly, it's kind of weird that you would even listen to Korn in modern day. Like, it's kind of weird. That song, like, ADIDAS, Adidas, All Day I Dream About Sex. Just kind of, like, weird. Like, it's giving misogyny. Like, it's just kind of odd. Like, you could just listen to, like, Call Chamber or, like, Slipknot even, Yeah, it's like, that's just like how I feel, yeah? It's, like, true, in it, yeah? Like, giving misogyny porn addict, yeah?
Because a lot of society expectations on women now is insane. Like the way you're meant to look is really based off of pornography.
Yeah, it's based off corn, like the first album, yeah.
And when you refer to women's genitals like that, it's usually an attempt to insult women.
But the only way you would hear this phrase is apparently through pornography or adult media.
Okay, this guy's masturbating ferociously to furry every day. When somebody's like, apparently this is a thing that people say in... I wouldn't know because I don't watch, but apparently this is like a thing. Apparently this is like a thing. I didn't even know about this. But I've heard that apparently this is a term used to demean women's bodies. And honestly, the fact that the appearance standards for women are so high in modern day is so disgusting. And the fact you would even play into that is like so weird. And then on top of that, you insisted that you call her because you knew that it would be harder to expose.
Yeah, like, it's like, in it, yeah? Yeah, it's like misogyny, yeah?
Please! I'm going to do something horrible. I wish I had painkillers. I wish I had more Vicodin, dude. I never had painkillers before this week. But now without it, I'm just, like, losing my mind, frankly. Okay? Please give me oxys. Please someone ship them in the mail to me.
Media or anything sexualizing women, because I personally haven't actually heard that terminology ever. Okay, I have never heard those words used to describe female genitalia.
How would this even make sense? Are these people watching that has like a dissertation about women's bodies? Does she need to permanently retire that voice?
Yeah, it's like, you're just being a misogynist, yeah?
I don't watch a lie. It's possible he doesn't watch this. It's just like this, like, I wouldn't even know because I don't even know what it is. I haven't even heard of dude.
And apparently that was the point. What? Dude, you can't... You are indirectly and directly showing us the kind of person you are.
Again, like I said, it's used to insult women and insult the appearance of women's genitals in comparison to corn. Like, tell me you've got a problem without telling me.
How on earth could you possibly know this?
These people are such Puritans too, right? These guys are like liberals or lefties. They're like on the side of defending women and going after racism. And like, they're such Puritans about this where like, if you even make a joke, you need to be like socially ostracized through the made up logic in their head.
All I did was use the term beef curtains. I don't understand how it's been spun to this level. To be completely honest with you all, this is not something I've ever wanted to talk about on my channel, as I've already mentioned that I like to keep my private life private, but I am literally asexual. So the claims that I'm flirting with Cataclysm, that I have a pornography addiction, that I must engage in incel groups, or whatever Lewis meant by this comment,
or a mindset, or being in these spheres online, or having possibly in the past been in these spheres, it adds to these ideas.
What is he even saying here, by the way? Is he saying he's like a red pillar who listens to Fresh and Fit, or like Andrew Tate? Like, what does this even mean? Once again, I have to question, like, has this guy ever interacted with another person in real life ever? I know he said in his video that he had no friends in high school and just like did theater, but like, if you're friends with any man at any point in time ever, the way that guys talk about women is foul. Okay, it is. Beef curtain should be the least of your concerns. Okay, the locker room talk. Okay, that everybody engages in high school. The way women talk about men is pretty crazy too, to be honest. But like, how would you like to have never heard the term beef curtains? I have to assume you've never like left your house. You must have grown up in like a Mormon mission society on the moon with no internet access if you've never heard the term beef curtains.
Idea that he might have or still be in the mindset of somebody who is misogynistic, whether it's on purpose or not,
is all so insulting and untrue.
These people are like, they're so smart, they're so genius that they can read into this guy's intentions, okay? They can understand him better than he understands himself. You know, he may not even realize he has a problem, and we're just here trying to help him, to save him from himself. We're trying to save him from himself. From the incel groups he's a part of. Why?
Well, like, you know, he used the word beef curtains, which is like in porn, yeah?
All of these videos are based on tearing me down, based on nothing but pure assumptions.
And is it pink reference while talking about Smart Schoolboy 9 is a choice when, for most women, it's only pink pre-puberty, most certainly a choice? Exactly.
Not only did I never even say anything about anything being pink, but Katie is now just insinuating that I was somehow referencing anything to do with pedophilia or underage girls, which is incredibly insulting, obviously incorrect, and seriously damaging. And what's worse is that in Lewis's video where I'm criticized for being a misogynist who hates women for 3 meaningless jokes, 2 of which were 3 years ago, Lewis makes this joke.
That sounds like you're willingly let somebody manipulate you, but that might just be me. Oh, you gave me my career, but you're going to exploit me for something because of it? Yes, because you owe me. Every woman in Hollywood ever.
The fact this guy has the audacity to talk about the beef curtains thing and then imply that the women in Hollywood who are exploited are willingly being exploited as opposed to being abused by their superiors is nuts. But this is the guy who understands women, right? This is the guy who understands women. He understands abuse. He understands power dynamics, right? By the way, all those girls in Hollywood who got by Harvey Weinstein, they wanted it. Like, that's what he's saying. What is wrong with you? What the f is wrong with these people, man? They're so confidently wrong about everything they say. 2 white leftists out and slander minority creator without evidence. That is literally it. Cat apologized. Yeah, but they never would have apologized if Danky Jabbo hadn't made his video, to be clear. They never would have said anything. These people would have shut the f up. They would have, in fact, if he hadn't responded, they probably would have made another video saying that his silence is deafening and making some other shit up.
So me saying the word tits 3 years ago means that I hate women, but you're allowed to make a joke about all women in Hollywood allowing themselves to be willfully manipulated. This is an infinitely more misogynistic and offensive thing to say than anything that the 2 of you ever accused me of. But I'm not going to do what you did and call you a misogynist, because it was clearly a joke. Here is another bit of apparent evidence for my hatred.
Yeah, but if these guys were held to the same standard that they hold others to, their channels would be deleted, basically. They wouldn't have a platform, okay, to defend themselves. They would be gaslit into media literacy hell.
Of women from the Papa Gut stream.
A lack of nuance. Apparently in one of his videos, he said that a woman cannot be beautiful if she is a mother. Apparently that's what he said.
What? Once again, with the apparently thing. If he said that, why wouldn't you just have the clip? Like, when I hear a claim about someone, when I hear someone say something like that, I'm like, oh, did he say that? Let's go see the clip. But this guy heard from someone who heard from someone who heard from someone that that was the case, and he just ran with it and publicly said it multiple times on public platforms. You actually, unironically, do not deserve to have a YouTube channel. You clearly take it for granted because you so flippantly make false allegations about someone.
Here's the clip of this joke that they're talking about for everyone wondering. Hey, says Santos. What's good, says Brianna Olsen. I'm sure this is some riveting conversation here. For everyone still in school who thinks that adults just grow this magical power to be more social or more extroverted, I don't know, maybe I've just not had that patch delivered to me yet, but I mean, it seems as though it's wrong based on this alone. To be fair, one of them is an actual child, and this is how year 8s flirt. This is like their sexy talk, I guess. Except Brianna Olsen is a mother, so there's nothing sexy about it. It's very obvious to everybody watching the video that I was not saying mothers could not be attractive.
Yeah, the joke he's making is that this person is messaging someone that's way too young for them.
But was in fact making fun of this one in particular for bragging about flirting with a 19-year-old boy. And what's worse is that Lewis goes on to admit that he's never even seen the clip.
I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember exactly what he said.
Did you see him say it?
Yeah, I saw
No,
that.
I have not watched the video
Okay.
yet.
So I guess this explains
This is the worst part. He admits he hasn't seen the video, but just trust what Cataclysm says. Cataclysm, in and of its, with her interpretation, got it wrong anyway. But she lies to Lewis. Lewis takes the lie and then spreads it publicly. This is how these people work. It's just a gossip train, unironically. These people are not commentary channels. These people are the definition of drama channels, if you want to get down to the brass tacks of it, because they're not even interpreting things properly. They're not even gathering evidence. They're just hearing what someone else says and putting that on their YouTube channel for hundreds of thousands of people to see. Unquestioningly. Unreliable narrator. The definition. These people, frankly, I hope they get sued. They won't be, but I hope they get sued and lose their livelihood because they do not deserve to have a platform if they're making these claims with no evidence whatsoever.
why he's so uneducated about everything he talks about. Because he doesn't bother educating himself. The guy's research for when he decides to call someone out publicly is YouTube comments that he's pinned. Yeah, man, you definitely have all the nuance needed to talk about these topics.
And again, it's such a minor thing from him. Do I think that makes him a terrible person? Again, no. But it's comments like that that come from him, as well as like a plethora of other comments that he's made that just come across that he's very, I want to say slightly misogynistic, and I'm not throwing that term around loosely. I do think a lot of the...
You are throwing it around so loosely, actually. Shut your trap, woman. Shut it. Never speak again. I don't want to come across like I'm saying it so loosely. Meanwhile, Lewis is like, I don't want to cancel this guy. I just think that, you know, these DMs he's trying to hide clearly ruin his reputation, and he's done, and he doesn't respect abuse, and he's supporting an abuser. I tipped you $2. You have to do what I say or you're a scammer. True. Thank you, Derek, for becoming a member. Team Rocket failed to catch a wild Danky Jabbo. Yeah, true, dude. True.
The things he says, he may not hate women per se, but when he makes comments like that, and again, the mother comment about how mothers can't be sexy. Again, I don't know if the context is fully there for that, so I won't go too much.
It's so funny that you are both so confident in calling me a misogynist in your videos, but when somebody simply asks you to explain why I'm a misogynist, you can't do it. The reason that these two are struggling so much to answer a question that should be easy considering how confident they were is because there's no evidence for it, apart from 3 jokes, I guess, that you've taken out of context. This is why neither of you bring up the Gloria or Lola Bunny bullshit in this Papa Gut stream, because you know how silly you'd look if you did.
And that's the thing. He may not intend. But I would disagree. I think it was previously a more accepted term. Now it's more derogatory because of things like the standards to women's genitalia. So I do think, especially maybe it's just not a part of the internet that you're on, but there is already so much discourse about the appearance of women's.
You see, she understands. Papa Gut just isn't on that part of the internet, but Cataclysm understands because she's on that part of the internet, dude. She's a 20-year-old, educated, young, independent woman. She knows the truth. She knows all of it, and she's exposing the truth behind Danky Jabbo's misogyny. Like, these people's opinions come from, once again, realities that they have created inside of their own minds, and they just treat it as fact. They claim to not be reading into his intentions too much or wanting to cancel him. And then based on a joke he made about a cartoon hippopotamus and a joke about beef curtains, they claim that he is a misogynist who hates women. At least a little bit, okay? At least a little bit. Based on his joke about the annoying orange, they say he defends an abuser. These people are insane. They are not mentally well. They are unironically mentally ill and need to be in a psych ward for a long time. I'm not joking. This is a fact. These people need to be in a psych ward treated medically. They need to have lobotomies.
Parts. And always in a negative way as well.
Oh,
so
are you trying to say that like the whole beef curtain thing is him saying that that's like an ugly vagina? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, well, that's if you ever see people online, and again, it's because of the side of the internet I'm on, because I talk about a lot. But if you ever see that term, it is always used as a way to insult the way a woman's vagina looks.
All I did was say the word beef curtains. I seriously don't understand how it's come to this level. Just using the term means nothing, or else all three of you would be raging misogynists. The context is so clearly jokey and not derogatory. The two of you are only latching onto it this much because there's no actual evidence of me being a misogynist, but for some reason, you would really want me to be.
Obviously, they use it in other terms, usually in kind of joking ways, so maybe that was a joke.
What do you mean, maybe it was a joke? Do you think that I randomly paused my video on Smart Schoolboy 9 to criticize women for not having star vaginas? You know that it was a joke. It's so obvious.
It's not necessarily that standing alone is the biggest issue, right? If that is the only thing he had done, we would not be here. It's the fact that it is on top of everything else and in a
But there's nothing. Once again, you say on top of everything else as if you're like, when people use this language, it's like, okay, in isolation, this one thing's not that big of a deal. But when you take all the other pieces and put them together, clearly there's a problem here. And sometimes that can be the case, okay? But in this case, they have nothing. There's no dots to connect. It's not like they're connecting dots don't need to be connected. Once again, there are no dots. They made up these points in their mind and they connected them as if they got this guy. And even in this conversation, they're showing themselves to have such a lack of integrity, to have such a lack of critical thinking skills. They don't know what they're talking about. They just make it up. It is willful ignorance of the highest order.
Vacuum, it wouldn't do anything, but in this room with all of these different things that point towards him having a misogynistic tone or a mindset or being in these spheres online or having...
What do you mean being in these spheres online? You're making it out like he's a member of Hustlers University.
Possibly in the past been in these spheres. It adds to this idea that he might have or still be in the mindset of somebody who is misogynistic, whether it's on purpose or not. And it's seeping into his content. That is what this kind of points towards. And it is still an issue if he doesn't, acknowledge that that is a derogatory term, and using it to refer to people is not necessarily a good thing.
You can't just say shit like that and provide no other evidence or examples. If there's other clips that prove that I'm a misogynist, then talk about them. You can't just levy these accusations against me and genuinely provide nothing, but here's another clip of them doing just that.
People like Cataclysm talked about it in their videos, specifically because she was somebody who was censored by him. But if you want to hear...
Once again, the censorship thing is crazy. These people say that he censored them, and literally all he did was ignore them, and that is it.
About that, definitely go watch the live stream that she still has posted to this day because, she still very much stands by this information, as do I. But it's important to know that he also censors in different ways. Like, for instance, apparently at the start of one of his videos, he said to his audience to comment down below as if he had done something terrible, because Cataclysm had just released in stories on her Instagram about what he was saying and what he was doing.
As if her Instagram following of, like, how many followers does this bitch have? Does she have, like, 500,000 followers? How do I spell her name? I can't even... Dude, these people's names are so... Okay. Does this person have, like, a giant Instagram following where, like, she would start a giant mountain of hate? Okay, 9,000 followers. Oh, my God, brother. We're not getting into this. Is this guy so delusional that he thinks this person's 9,000 followers, when she makes a story post that might get, like, a couple thousand views, is going to cause so much shit for Denki Jabo, such a tidal wave that he needs to hide the allegations from his comment section? She probably would get like 5 people to comment, dude. That's it.
So to cover it up, he would censor those like Cataclysm who were actually talking about what he was actually doing, and then he would just ignore anything else that seemed like it would...
Yeah, because the YouTube comment section is the greatest place of discourse and allegations to get brought up, okay? Because the YouTube comment section is the thing that's going to really be the venue to talk about these serious situations, and he's trying to hide people in the comment section. You guys are going to make videos about it anyway, so why does it matter?
Actually call him out because everybody else was just following what he asked them to do, which is borderline manipulative and honestly
borderline manipulative.
Insane.
Again.
Honestly insane. Is it honestly insane? If we're being honest, is it really insane? I feel like it's dishonestly insane, and it's actually not manipulative at all. It's just him around.
Another baseless accusation. I just thought it would be a funny joke. That's it.
If you proudly wore this on your chest, okay? If you were like, yeah, I'm still friends with Alex. Yeah, you know what? And that's my choice. You guys can hate me for that. If you did that, I would actually still have a little bit of respect.
Why? Why would you have respect for him? How does it make any sense? Once again, this is like the Norm Macdonald bit. It's like, some people say that the worst part about Bill Cosby is hypocrisy. I think the worst part was It's like, so you're saying here that the worst part is not that he's hypocritical, the worst part is not that he's apparently defended an abuser. The worst part is that he won't say that he's defending an abuser. The amount of dishonesty from these guys is so disgusting. The amount of slander in these videos is so foul. These people live in an alternate world, okay? They are crazy. They need to be in a psych ward. Once again, this is not even a joke. These people need to be tested for something. The mass hysteria they have created in their own minds is frankly worrying to me.
For you. But the fact that you're running away from all of it, acting like you get to do this stuff and hide from it, even though you did it. You made all these decisions.
I saw a Reddit comment saying the wildest part is this thing could have been avoided if he'd not done the annoying orange response, which is crazy because it's true, but it's not even true. If he hadn't done the annoying orange response, they would have come up with something else. Because these guys weren't going into this with the intention of getting the truth, okay? These guys were not going into the situation with the intention of actually getting to the bottom of this allegation, okay, that they made up in their mind. They went into this with the intention of ruining this guy's channel, of ruining Danky Jabbo's reputation. They would use anything they could. Literally anything they could. If it wasn't that, it would have been, they would have just left out the annoying orange thing and used the other clips, okay, of him talking about the hippopotamus. Because as they said, it's not one little thing. It's a pattern of behavior that shows that he's a part of this incel landscape.
You don't have to be friends with an abuser, but you chose to do so, and you want to hide it from your fans so that they don't know the kind of person you are? Dude.
I didn't do anything or make all of these decisions. You've completely made up the idea that I'm friends with an abuser. Why would I need to answer for that? There's no lying by omission, as you state in this video.
And to lie to them? To manipulate them, to avoid the truth. Maybe not so much lie, but to silence the truth. It might as well be lying.
I'm being truthful by not talking about it because there is nothing to talk about. I had already told Cataclysm in our call that I wasn't friends with him. I don't understand what else you want from me here.
Dude, just be truthful. Like, for instance, he made an Onision video, okay, that got taken down, flagged, or whatever, and it basically almost took down his channel in his own words. Not to flex, but could never be me. Mine's still up.
Wow, amazing, dude. Proud of you for not getting your shitty YouTube commentary video taken down. You should take it down yourself. Take down your channel, please.
One of my biggest videos ever.
You'll be doing the world a service. You are a net negative.
You know, I don't mean to flex too hard, man. But in the wake of this, he, one, reposted the video, and two, to support him for working on reposting this video and whatnot, he made a Patreon. Okay, so that people who wanted to support him in the wake of this minor devastation could. And this would also grant you access to a members-only Discord channel where you could talk with him and all of his other fans and whatnot about him and nothing but him. Whatever, right? But then...
Once again, what is up with this weird, this weird tone these guys take? He made a Patreon so you can talk about him and nothing but him. What is wrong with having a Patreon? Is that such a horrible thing? Is that such a terrible thing to do?
Cataclysm released her video, and people started talking, and a lot of them started asking him questions about the situation. And you know what he did? He deleted it all.
You have no evidence for any of this. Once again, you claim to care about allegations and care about the truth and care about being educated about these situations. You didn't show a single screenshot, a single piece of proof for this. You didn't even show a screenshot of his Patreon before and after he deleted it or try to line up the timetables. You didn't do that at all. You just made this shit up in your head. I cannot understand how this guy sat in his room and made this video. This guy has too much positive affirmation from his audience. This guy's been too gassed up. They made his ego gigantic. There's no other explanation for why he acts like this. Like, this guy's ego is so inflated, he thinks he can just get away with anything. He thinks his word is gospel because he says that it must be true.
Oh, dude, I gotta get out of, I gotta get the out of here. Honestly, if I made a Patreon, I'd probably be like, what's the minimum you can do? Like a cent? Is that...
How noble are you, dude? How noble are you? You would never take money from the audience. You would never make money as a YouTuber. What is up with these people, once again, who act like making money is such a bad thing? They're so virtuous. They're so virtuous, they would never accept money for a service, okay? I would make it 1 cent.
Is that something you can do? When people start asking you questions and your first response is to be like, get rid of it all. I can't.
Where is your proof for this? Where's your proof for this? Show me the proof, please.
I can't handle this. I can't handle this policing and drama. Dude, if your audience, the only thing that makes you who you are on the internet, says, hey man, I don't mean to be a jackass, but why are you being a jackass? And your first response is, shut up, you can't ask me questions, I'm deleting it all. You're gonna ruin my career. You don't deserve to have that career if you can't handle the stuff you cover in real life with some amount of class.
Once again, more assumptions. Here's the message that I left on my Discord before I took my Patreon.
Hey guys, really appreciate the constant support you guys have shown me in the channel. Recently, the channel has grown to the point where I no longer need a Patreon to support making the videos, and I'm super grateful that you guys have helped me out to get to that point. Because of this, I've decided to stop running the Patreon altogether. Sorry for being so inactive on this Discord recently whilst I've been working on the channel. To make up for it, I'll be refunding all of you for the last month of your support. It's truly value the generosity you've shown me and don't feel it's fair otherwise. Thank you so much for everything. It means the world to me. I wish you all the very best. Merry Christmas. Also, message me if you don't get your refund in the next 2 weeks or so. It takes a few business days, but you should have it by then. Wow, dude. Clearly he's running from the allegations when he clearly announces to everyone he'll be shutting down the Patreon Discord. Clearly this is him running. Clearly this is him hiding.
Down. There was simply no reason to have a Patreon anymore considering how much income my channel was generating, and that's something that I am genuinely grateful for. But it really is just that simple. I don't know why everything I do is now somehow linked to this situation that is ultimately about nothing.
Well, it's because these guys have nothing to go off. These guys have nothing to go off of. They have nothing in the first place. So every little thing you do has to somehow fit into this crazy narrative they have. I wonder if these people were bullied too much or not enough. I would argue not enough. More of it needs to happen now. I think you're robbed for becoming a member.
It's also very interesting to me that you act so high and mighty about the fact that if you were to ever start a Patreon, you would only charge your fans 1 cent because you're that much of a nice guy.
Honestly, if I made a Patreon, I'd probably be like, what's the minimum you can do? Like a cent? Is that something you can do?
But you literally have channel memberships.
Oh! Dude, this guy's such a lying... Once again, I would make it 1 cent. Wow, $3? You're clearly scamming your audience with that, Lewis McClung. You're abusing the parasocial relationship. Once again, these guys are so disingenuous. They're like, I would never take money from the audience. I would make it 1 cent just because I don't need the money. Then they charge $3 for a shitty channel membership. You probably didn't even get anything for this. Well, you get loyalty badges next to your name and comments in live chat when he never streams. I'll let you guys know that for memberships on this channel, you get access to full stream VODs after they're live for $5. $5? Okay? That's what you get from me, because I'm a good person. I will never lower it to 1 cent. If anything, the price would go up rather than down. I need more money. I need way more. I need it. I need it. You don't understand. I need it. Give it to me. If you ever give Lewis McClung money, give it to me instead, because I need it. I need to buy a fast car. I need it real bad.
But at £3 a month. Like, that's fine. Have channel memberships. It's whatever. But who's the virtue signaler here exactly?
And nuance. See, because what you lack is nuance.
Yeah, he lacks nuance. He's the one who lacks nuance, clearly. Not you and this crazy girl who have made extremely long expose videos about nothing where you extrapolate all this random shit into somehow proving that this guy defends abusers. He's the one who lacks nuance. What a disingenuous little rat.
Being wrong is the quickest path to being right. Admitting your wrongs is the quickest path back to being a good person. Righting your wrongs, confessing your wrongs, being true to the people who support.
He didn't even do anything wrong. I love that. Once again, I love the posturing. Like, this guy understands morality, clearly. This guy understands right and wrong. He understands rehabilitative justice, okay? More than anyone. You need to acknowledge that you did wrong. What did he do wrong? Well, I made it up in my mind. Please apologize for the thing that you did wrong that I made up now.
Support you and give you a job and a rent and a career, okay? That is what gives you anything.
There is no nuance in perpetuating a story about me when there is no proof at all.
What you lack is nuance.
It's incredibly hypocritical of you to claim that I lack the nuance to run.
I'm not the guy to do it, but I feel like we need to get some, like, stereotypically Chad alpha male type dude, okay? I'm soy inherently, okay? But we need some, like, Chad alpha male type dude to, like, go around to these people's houses, take them to a YouTuber high school and shove them in lockers to fix them. That's what we need. We need someone to come around and shove these guys in lockers to fix whatever is wrong with them. I don't know who it's going to be. Maybe, like, True Gordy or someone like that. Yeah, Wes Watson. Can I hire Wes Watson to go around to these people? Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a reality TV show. It's going to be YouTube Commentary High School, where I'm going to get all of these cringe commentary YouTubers in there. I'm going to be the principal, and we're going to get, like, a bully to shove these guys in lockers, okay, to beat the out of them. That's what we need. You guys need to get gadooshed hardcore.
Run my channel, and that you have all the nuance, class, decency, empathy, and intelligence necessary to put yourself in the shoes of others and cover whatever topics you like. Where exactly was the nuance when you started off your videos on accusations and attempted murder with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure edits?
No. What the f is that, dude? What is this fairy shit? What is this? What is this? Oh, of course he makes videos about Melanie Martinez, bro. Of course he does. Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? This guy probably loves Mitski. Oh, he's personally fighting her, dude. He's gonna put an end to the situation. He's exposing her in his YouTube commentary video. He's doing the right thing. He's gadooshing her for what she did. Okay? Thank God he's putting a stop to this, dude.
Couple of meaningless jokes that I made 3 years ago somehow prove that I'm a
You should get a fan to blow your hair when recording videos like the gay pirate. That'd be a good idea. I should do that.
raging misogynist and I don't deserve a career. But you're able to start your video off on accusations like this, and that's all fine and dandy.
Audience member, my beautiful audience members, those who I cherish more than any earthly possession I have, because without you, I would have nothing.
You can't cherish or respect your audience that much if you're this willing to lie to their faces about another creator that you share that audience with. To call me a virtue signaler and talk to your audience like this is incredibly ironic.
So this is my proposition to you, you nuance-lacking goblin. Come on my show. Come on here. I will interview you.
What is up with the mannerisms, too? Come on my show. Come on my show. I'll interview you. Come on my show. Come on my show. Dude, what's going on? You need help. You need help. We need to get you some kind of coach, some kind of life coach that will help you out. We need someone to come in and fix whatever disease you have that made you like this.
Biasedly. I will ask you questions. That is what I will do, okay? I'm offering you this proposition. I will interview you. If you feel as though you have no avenue
Thank God, dude.
for clearing your name, if there is really a way to clear your name,
Yeah, if there is really a way to clear your name from the annoying orange joke, please come on my channel so I can farm you for more content. This guy does not give a f. Maybe he thinks he does, he does not. This guy only cares about destroying people's channels, destroying their reputations, and pissing on their grave after he does it. That's all he cares about. What a degenerate cuck, dude. This guy sucks.
because you really need to clear this up. Your audience, above all, deserves the truth
Thanks for the dono, James.
from you.
You cannot make a video with baseless accusations and big lies to try and scare me into doing an interview for your YouTube channel. Who do you actually think you are? Offering me an interview as though you're doing me a favor when you've just lied about me for 20 minutes in front of 300,000 people. If you genuinely cared
And this is like kind of the most frustrating thing about this. So Danky Jabot's response got 150k views, which is good. Louis McClung's original video about him got 300,000 views. So there's probably still a good amount of people that think that Louis McClung was right and aren't aware of the fact that Louis McClung has had to like apologize and cope about this and seethe about how bad he was. And that's like the most frustrating part about it. These false allegations don't just get put to bed because they apologize and take down the videos. There's still damage being done to this day. Louis looks like the stereotype of polyamorous people. Yeah, he does. You would expect him to be in one of those like SGDQ photos of all the gooners and ZZMs. Oh my god, guys. Just got back from the Polycule meetup. It was super feisty.
about this, you would not be trying to get a YouTube video out of it and turn it into a public display. And what you claim to have been attempts to keep this private are similarly fictitious. You say to Papa Gut on stream that you had tried to keep this private by messaging me and that I had blatantly ignored you.
It's important to hold yourself accountable for these things, and he's not letting anybody reach him about it. I even messaged him directly, and he ignored it. So
Yeah, as if he has to respond to you, of all people. You're the police, okay? You're the guy he needs to respond to right now.
when you do that,
Like, these people have such a sense of self-importance. Like, he didn't respond to my DM, which clearly means that he's guilty. Who the are you? You're some child. You're some child on the internet. Is this guy 16 years old? How old is Louis McClung? He's 20? Dude, how embarrassing for a 20-year-old. You're too old. You're honestly too old for even this. You are. You're too old to be like this. What an embarrassing way to be. You're 20 years old and this is what you've amounted to? You need to reverse your entire swag and become a different guy. This Louis McClung guy looks like he saw one Mini Minute Man video and tried to copy his entire caricature. Who is Mini Minute Man? Who is that? This guy?
How is it going, Google debunkers? We are gathered here today to celebrate a momentous occasion.
Yeah, I see it. I see what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down. His mustache looks like when a baby eats spaghetti and the tomato sauce dries on their face. I don't have room to talk about facial hair. My facial hair is pretty weak, but I agree. He is certainly the Manchurian candidate in this situation.
it honestly feels like a kind of just like really idiotic thing to do.
You had left a comment on my channel and messaged me on Instagram one day before you decided to put your hit piece out on me. I hadn't even seen the notification.
We need to talk. I have some very important questions you're probably going to want to answer. You have to respond to the situation involving you. This is the message you get one day before Louis McClung posts a slanderous hit piece about you, trying to ruin your life. 12 hours before he drops a video on you, we need to talk. He'd probably already recorded and edited the video.
that I had even been messaged by you until after your video was already out. But even if I had seen and responded to your message in time, the fact that your video was out so soon after tells me that you already had your mind made up. In fact, the reason that you probably don't bring up the fact that you messaged me in your video is because it was probably recorded before you even messaged me. To give me 1 day to respond to you and assume that if I don't respond, I must be a misogynistic abuse apologist is horrendously unfair. And even in these messages, you show the same level of ego and self-importance that you do in the video.
You have to respond to the situation. There is no situation. We need to talk. You need to respond to the false allegation I just made up about you. Video drops in 1 hour. Respond now. Like, what the f is wrong with this guy? Genuine question, is this dude a trans man? I don't know. Wouldn't be shocking.
Claiming that we need to talk, that I'm required to answer your questions, and that I have to talk about the situation involving me. There is no situation, and we had exchanged like 10 messages before this. We're not friends at all, and I don't even know you. So whatever gave you the impression that you had the right to speak to me like this is beyond me. I do not have to talk about anybody or do anything that you want. I make YouTube videos, and that...
Well, you have to understand, Louis McClung is educated. Okay, he respects women. He's a male feminist. He drinks Soylent every day. And as a result, if you don't respond to him, you're basically the equivalent of a okay? You need to respond. You're going to want to respond to this. Like, once again, look at how indignant, how gleeful he is to destroy this guy's career. Good morning, Rick.
That's that. I will not let any of you bully me into doing what you like. I would have been perfectly cordial if you had spoken to me like a normal person, but you didn't. And by the way, neither did Cataclysm. From the moment I ignored her offer to join call with her and her friends, she had begun randomly messaging me unwarranted.
Why'd you unfollow me? I'm asking you questions privately before I ask them publicly. Is she like in love with this guy or something? Like, is she in love with him? Why'd you unfollow me? Like, this is like the kind of message you get from like some jilted ex. You're actually unbelievable. I hope you sleep well at night knowing how much of a hypocrite you are. Can we recall the Discord call where you literally talk about the respect you still have for Alex? I respect that you cover up calling people out. It's so blindingly obvious you two were close. You should do a video on the shit talking Alex used to do about you. Content idea for you. Like, once again, it's so clear these people don't actually care about these issues. They just want to get involved in this petty high school drama. These guys are like the kids that didn't get to bully people in high school. And so now that they have a little bit of YouTube popularity, they're like so gleeful about the fact they get to bully someone. And they get to do it righteously, right? These people are so nice. They do the right thing. And then they bully people in the name of social justice.
Warranted hateful messages whenever she felt like it. Not only that, but she was also hearting comments on her YouTube channel that accused me of being a potential sexual assault.
Another man that makes mockery of SA, but of course he would never do SA because he's above that. Smells like burning toast. What the? She's like implying that he's a... What is wrong with these people? What the is wrong with these people? Dude, if you're ever in the same room as these people, be afraid. Leave the room. Okay? If I was ever in the same room as these people, it would be this.
It's a nice breeze up here. So come on. Which one of us is jumping?
You do it.
Fair enough. See you around.
This is literally that. Fair enough. Fair enough. See you around. I'll just exit through the window. If you're walking by the house where I somehow managed to walk into the same room as these people, you would just see a window break and me fall into the sidewalk and break every bone in my body. That is what would happen, okay? This would be me. I'd be like, fair enough. Fair enough. And I'd just leave. I'd just instantly exit. This is the face I make at them when they tell me to respond to their DM. Fair enough. See you around. I'll try to catch you. Don't catch me. Let me break every bone.
Assaulter. The fact that either of you act as though you were trying to be fair at any point, that you were trying to be respectful at any point, is honestly laughable.
This video about Jesse, I wanted to make it still with a little...
Dude, it's like you're riding into Normandy, okay? It's the night before D-Day. The invasion is happening right now. You're a paratrooper, okay? You're a paratrooper. You're with Captain Winters. You're on the plane. And then you just hear Louis McClung like, that's weird, that's weird. And then all of a sudden your plane starts taking flak. And you realize it's better to jump into German-occupied France, into Nazi-occupied France, and fight the Germans on the ground than it is to stay in the plane where surely you will burn. Because at least if you jump, you have a chance of survival, even though the enemy's on the ground, okay? At least you have a small chance of survival. If you stay in the plane, it's over for you.
respect in my heart for him as a human.
Painting me out as a potential sexual assaulter goes beyond just hearting comments, though. Cataclysm even justifies her harassment towards me as putting a stop to my future abuse, comparing me to her ex-boyfriend who she said had poured boiling water over her, and telling people that if she didn't put a stop to me now, that I could end up like this.
But in all seriousness, guys, you know, this type of behavior is only the beginning. You know, I've seen more often than not when stuff is just surface level, it gets worse and worse, you know? And I just want to remind people, and this isn't a pity party, but I've made a video before about this. I've been in a relationship with someone for 2 years who abused me. And I saw it progressively get worse and worse, you know? You start off not very nice, a little bit angry, a lot of apologies. You end the relationship having boiling water thrown down your front, being called every word under the sun, being thrown to the...
You're not in a relationship with Danky Jabbo. You're not dating him. Do you think you're dating him? He makes YouTube videos. Okay, I think this girl's like in love with Danky Jabbo. Okay, an angel told me this in my dream last night. I don't want to speculate too much. I actually do think this. I think she's in love with him, which is why she had a mental breakdown when he unfollowed her, and why she like sees her former abuser in him somehow. She's like, this is just the start. This is just the start, mate. Like,
you know, like, it's like one day he's making a YouTube commentary video, and the next day he just on the regular. I don't want to say that's a poor term. Listen to Deftones. You start off making annoying orange jokes, and the next day you're defending an abuser.
Nick A30, Janky Jaboo, and Dream Drama is proof that there's an increased rate of giving validation to parasocial weirdos. It feels like every drama we've had so far this year has been like, this did not need to happen. And everybody is just like part of some mass hysteria. It feels like we had so many like somewhat justified cancellations last year that now we're just coming around. People are just making shit up because they want drama to talk about. They want a big situation.
Ground, multiple terrible things happening to you. And how did it start? With the little things. It always starts off small, and it's not something that people should think when, because if you say, oh, don't call him out for that small thing, then you're implying that small things should just be let go. When it comes,
they should be. He didn't do anything. He literally did nothing. What the fuck are you talking about? Nobody gives a fuck that your ex-boyfriend tried to dump a pot of what do British people eat? Of fish and crumpets on you. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody's thinking about this. Not everything is about you. Nobody knows you. Nobody cares about you. You're not loved, okay? Give up. Quit. Delete your channel now. Thank you, Undertaker, for the dono.
Comes to women and abuse, no, small things shouldn't be.
I hope I don't need to explain how genuinely horrific an allegation like this is when the only piece of evidence that you have is an annoying orange joke and a follow on Instagram. I am very sorry that this happened to you, Katie, but it is simply not an excuse for you to levy these baseless accusations against me.
I said I'm asking you questions privately before I ask them publicly. So here, ladies and gentlemen, we have an example of me giving him a pretty good chance to even just explain himself.
Oh, wow. How gracious of you to give him a chance to explain himself, dude. Before you try to ruin his career, how good of a person are you to give him a chance to explain how he feels and respond to the allegations before you try to torch his career? You're so virtuous. You're so empathetic. You gave him a chance, right? And ultimately, he left you no choice. With that annoying orange joke, he left you no choice, dude.
I'm not saying that I would have been his friend if he had. I would have still thought that you are an ignorant idiot, okay? But
yeah, he's ignorant. He's an ignorant idiot, bro.
I wanted to give him the chance to explain, because who knows, there could have been something going on there.
This is not...
There could have been something going on there. There could have been something going on there.
The most insufferable people you know are making thousands of dollars a month making YouTube commentary videos where they bloviate about morality.
Not you giving me a chance to explain myself. This is just a threat. Why would I want to engage with you after finding out that your screenshot...
And it's funny, they both did the same thing. She did it to him. Louis McClung was like, you need to respond. You need to respond to this right now. How do I cope with how furious these cretins make me, Thomas, debilitating me? Well, if you donate to me, I am ending capitalism. So that's definitely going to be the way. Tom spoke in that beautiful accent and my hiccup stopped. Pace, dude. Scared you out of it.
Shotting messages in real time and are now threatening me. It's very clear here that you...
So literally, no matter what she admits, she would have always thought he was an idiot, and therefore justifying himself would be pointless, but he should have done it anyways. Yeah, basically. It's like, I have a conclusion about you before we go into this. I'm going to give you the chance to explain yourself right now, okay? I'm going to give you a chance to explain yourself. I'm going to give you a chance to make things right.
Do not have good intentions. I just don't understand what editing for Alex makes me guilty of. I'm being witch hunted for my previous employment. We were never close. In fact, you literally make the claim that he would regularly shit talk me.
And I also want to add a really hilarious addition to this situation, which makes it the icing on the cake. Alex used to chat shit about Jesse.
So she was friends with Alex? Was she friends with him? So she's just like projecting. She's projecting her own guilt for being friends with this woman beater onto him. When Jesse literally did nothing. Literally did nothing, okay? Tom's adding Katie on all his socials. I did notice the other day that I think she followed me on Instagram. I was just like, dude, what do you think's going on here? Why are you following me? Do you think I'm like cool with you or think you're like a good content creator? You're a up freak. You got something wrong with you. You need help.
And I mean, he would criticize his work. He would say he was shit.
Why did you unfollow me?
Thank you, Josh Salas, for becoming a member.
He said all sorts. He said that his work was just terrible. Like, it didn't... Like, you're defending someone, Jesse, that didn't like you and was two-faced to you.
You even messaged me this saying you should do a video on the shit talking Alex used to do about you. Content idea for you. But just one message previous, you say that it's blindingly obvious the two of us were close. Based on what? An annoying orange joke.
It's blindingly obvious. You don't understand, dude. The angel came to them in their dreams and told them the truth. It's blindingly obvious. Thank you, Josh Salas, once again. It's like, I'm kind of repeating myself here a lot because these people just kind of run in circles with every point they make. But I can't emphasize enough. First of all, how disgusting it is that these people thought they could get away with this. But secondly, the sheer delusion that these people live in. How can you ever trust Lewis McClung or Cataclysm after they make a video like this? Like, this is not even a video where like they had some evidence and they kind of misinterpreted it or got it kind of wrong. Like, this is a situation where they just made shit up and made a video trying to destroy someone's career while pretending to be educated and cool. That is what this is. They were trying to milk him for content off of nothing.
I literally apologized to you about that joke on Cool as well, even though Lewis is claiming that I just hung.
You shouldn't have apologized. You can never apologize to these people. The second you apologize is the second that they see you as like down on your knees and they're going to demand more and more and more from you, basically.
Up and ran away. And on this Papa Gut stream, he says that if I had just apologized privately, none of this ever would have happened.
Continued to deflect and ignore and lie to cover up that initial incident, when that initial incident wouldn't have become such a big issue if he had just addressed it when everybody...
What initial incident? What does he need to address? Keep in mind, when they say initial incident, you would think that they're talking about like how he had groped some chick or how he like raped someone or how he like assaulted someone or how he like made a video defending I'm Alex. That's not what happened. The initial incident is a joke about the annoying orange. It's a joke about the annoying orange. I cannot emphasize it enough. These people are crazy people.
But he asked him to, right? When, like, to those people.
I genuinely think people like this are just PC grifters and they know they can get a lot of money from trying to cancel people. I think that is it, yes.
People, not even publicly, right? If he had just apologized privately, this never would have been a situation, but he continued to make it a problem, right? He created this giant cascading event that could have been avoided by him just being less of a, weirdo about it.
I don't know what Katie told you about the call that we had, but I did apologize privately to her in this call about the screenshots. I said it was really dumb to respond in the way I did and that I should have ignored it. She even goes on to admit this later on in the stream.
One-on-one, when we had this phone call, he admitted that it was wrong. I don't know if that was reiterated in the video that you just watched, but he told me he shouldn't have said it.
Yeah.
And that he should have taken it more seriously.
And even on the pinned comment she wrote on the stream about me, she says that I had indeed apologized for the screenshot. Despite this, Lewis says that all I needed to do was apologize in private, and none of this would have happened. I did apologize for the message privately, and it ended up meaning nothing. I don't know what else was expected or wanted from me. It seems as though no matter what I had done, you would have found a way to justify that I don't deserve a career, and that your harassment towards me is necessary.
Let's say it was just a needless joke, okay? He's still...
Wait, what did he say there?
me is necessary.
Let's say it
Sure.
was just a needless joke. Deleted messages. He still had to apologize for it in private.
So in a few minutes, we've gone from, if he had apologized in private, none of this ever would have happened, to, well, actually, he did apologize in private, but that's exactly why this has to happen. Because his apology is proof that he's guilty and deserves what he's getting from us. What you're basically saying here is that no matter what I would have done, I would have been
Right. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you respond in the way we want you to, we're going to expose you. If you don't respond in the way we want you to, we're going to try to expose you anyway and try to bully you into some kind of response. These people act so morally righteous as if they are the one person doing the right thing. He worked as his editor, and then their videos of similar editing and thumbnails are the same. He must have been mentored by him. Bro, what? Honestly, twisting, there's nothing sexy about a woman with her own child being predatory and flirting with a literal child into mothers can't be sexy is actually one of the wildest things I've ever heard. True. I'll definitely give you that. At the end of his video, he was like, I will interview you unbiasedly. My immediate thought was, how can you interview him unbiasedly if you already made this video? These people are just grasping at straws for something to get people on.
If I don't apologize, then I'm running away from it all, but if I do apologize, I'm somehow admitting to defending and supporting abuse. I really appreciate the class, nuancy, and dignity from you here, Lewis.
What you lack is nuance.
What you lack is nuance. Thank you for posturing, you pompous prick, you douchebag. What you lack is nuance. What you lack is nuance, and I'm the one to bring the nuance to you. I'm the one who's going to educate you. I'm just trying to do the right thing. I'm not trying to cancel you. I'm just trying to get a response to these allegations, which are very serious and need to be answered for.
Both you and Cataclysm talk constantly about how you're the perfect YouTubers, how unlike everybody else, you have no skeletons in your closet, and so you don't need to live in constant...
Dude, this is the craziest thing. When anybody says, like, I've never done anything bad, I have no skeletons in my closet, I have nothing to be afraid of, I'm just wondering, like, what the did you actually do? Because everybody has done something embarrassing at some point in time in their life, all right? Everybody's had some cringe DM, some cringe interaction with a girlfriend, okay? Everybody's had some kind of cringe interaction at some point in their life. Everybody, without fail, okay? But this guy's like, I've never done anything weird. I've never been a weird guy. There's no DM out of context. I never said the N-word. I never made a joke. I was just a theater kid. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Why would you even say that unprompted? Nobody asked. Nobody assumed that. Now I'm going to assume there's something weird about you. How mundane must their lives be to make these videos? It must be unreal. They're searching for conflict in anything. They have no hardship. They've suffered no hardship in their lives, apparently.
It's just not, giving misogyny, yeah? What you lack is nuance.
Fear of being exposed.
I don't have anything about me that anybody can expose. I don't plan on doing anything terrible. And it means
Thank you for letting me know.
that I can come online and equally judge people.
What the f did you do? What did this girl do?
Anybody that can't or say they can't talk about stuff is usually because they have stuff to hide themselves or they're
What did she do? Why would you just say that? Unprompted. Nobody asked.
panicking because they're somehow linked.
Do you know what it feels like to see all of these commentary YouTubers dropping like flies? It worries me. Because, personally, I don't have any skeletons in my closet.
What did you do, Lewis? What the f did you do, dude? Shaw's or Market Basket? Both shit. What did this guy do? Like, who did he hurt? Who did he touch? Who did he diddle? Like, why would you just say this? Nobody asked. As a guy who's never done anything wrong in my life, it's so disturbing to see all these other people who have done things wrong in their life. What the f are you talking about? Nobody assumed that. We assume that you did nothing wrong off the bat. You don't need to posture about it.
Closet. I've had a very boring life, okay? I've been a
can
straight
tell.
edge kid. I've been I was in one musical. I didn't have many friends. I kind of just watched shows, stayed inside, and didn't shower enough as a child.
Thanks, man. Thanks for letting me know that you're a loser and nobody likes you. I couldn't have guessed that. I couldn't have guessed that at all.
A very cloistered individual. Like, I didn't do anything, okay? But that kind of makes me the perfect YouTuber in a way, even though my life kind of sucked and I
You're the perfect YouTuber because you have no experience in anything. These people's definition of the perfect YouTuber is not somebody who has like cool life experiences or has like lived a lot of different, lives and had a bunch of interesting jobs and done a bunch of interesting things. Their idea of the perfect YouTuber is somebody who's a loser with nothing, who can just go on YouTube and needlessly judge others for shit that they've never even been in the position to possibly do anything related to, right? Like, what the f are you talking about? I've never done anything wrong. I've led a boring life. I'm a loser. By the way, I got bullied. By the way, I suck. By the way, I get no... By the way, I have no friends. Therefore, I am the GOAT, and I can talk about serious, complex issues because of my vast experience. What the f are you talking about?
suffered with a lot of depression because of it. But somehow I still worry that I'm going to be involved with some person and they're going to turn out to be terrible.
Another reason why people like Alex get away with it for so long is that people have dirt on each other. the reason why I'm able to make this video, and potentially not many other people, is because I've done absolutely nothing wrong with my time online.
This is insane. So many people have made videos about I'm Alex. There are hundreds of videos about I'm Alex. You're the only one who's able to expose him. You're the only one who's able to talk about this serious issue because you haven't or something. Nobody asked. The McClunky guy is gay, but the girl is beautiful, so all is forgiven? No, it makes it worse.
What about when you made a video on a transgender woman that was so ignorant and transphobic that you had to delete it? Your first video on Lily Tino is now only available on Papa Gut's stream VOD now, because you deleted the original. I'm not even criticizing you for doing so, because the original was genuinely offensive. But it's just very ironic considering how much you're criticizing me from running away from my issues.
Throwing stones from a glass house, my friend.
And hiding stuff from my audience.
I just want to also say, on behalf of Alice, like, she's had so many absolute idiots come online. And
if I was Alice, I would be embarrassed for you to be the one going out and defending her in the way that you do. I would be so embarrassed to be your friend right now. I would cut you off because you're a freak.
Exploit the situation, leak DMs she didn't want to be leaked, and just genuinely be insensitive.
Do you not realize that you are literally leaking private DMs as you complain about people leaking private DMs? Not only did you leak...
She's like, it's so bad the way that people exploit the situation. Anyway, I've made up this entire drama in my mind about this YouTuber who used to edit for I'm Alex, and I'm claiming that he's defending him despite having no proof. I'm not exploiting it. Am I making videos that earn revenue off of that? Yes. Am I perpetuating a drama that's been dead for months and doesn't need to be perpetuated? Yes. But, like, I'm not exploiting it. I bet Cataclysm says the hard R in DMs. Hopefully. Lewis and this chick are the epitome of kids who were never denied anything or told to shut up. My family would eat me alive if I acted like them. I don't know what happened with them. I don't know what went wrong, but it's something very, very bad. I'll say that.
Leak everything on your stories and on this stream, but you even leaked it to Louis McClung and later admitted that you were recording the call between us.
I understand that. Did you happen to record the conversation you had with him?
The really annoying thing is I did, and I had it on my computer for a really long
The annoying thing about that is, like, if you have the recording, why couldn't you just shown that to Lewis so we could have seen what happened instead of him just making up a bunch of bullshit about whatever that interaction was like? Yeah. I just wanted to ask him questions to see how it would go, but I did record the entire interaction from the start, by the way. Gunnar McGlide is based and Turd Thomas cringe. True. Thank you, Operandi, who says praise Skibidi or Paris. These people need to start.
long time. My boyfriend edits my videos and it was on an SD card. I'm trying to figure out how to retrieve it. But then when I've spoken to people about like whether I'd be able to like, you know, release it, it's a different story because I didn't tell him I was recording.
And the only reason you hadn't posted this recording yet is because you were scared of being sued, which you admitted in this tweet. Because obviously you were doing it all without my knowledge or consent. Cataclysm even says that we had a nice conversation where I gave her good advice about YouTube.
But when I asked him explicitly, because he reached out to me and he seemed nice, to be fair, like he was friendly to me, he was...
And I like how Lewis spun this somehow. I don't know if she lied to him about the call. I don't know if she's like lying now. I don't know what order of operations there was to this, but I like how she's here. She's like, oh, the call was perfectly fine. He was nice. But then Lewis McClung is like, he was mansplaining to her about YouTube and how to be a better YouTuber. And he was even like flirting with her. It's kind of creepy, honestly. Like, who lied to who? Who made it up first? I just want to know. She McClung on my Lewis till I jabbo. True. Hey, everyone, I'm sorry. I did a Lewis and he was just a little soybean. It's my fault. Dude, you made this happen. It's your fault.
He was okay. He explained a lot about like what I should do differently on YouTube, but it's kind of like a little bit irrelevant.
How this has been spun into me trying to flirt and mansplain how to be a better YouTuber for 2.5 hours and then run away when the screenshot was brought up is insane to me. Forgive me for trying to make friends in the space and being nice. Trust me, I won't be making that mistake again. To claim that I'm running away from you or the situation is also ridiculous. Because I'm not being funny, Katie, but why the would I ever respond to messages like these ones?
Once again, this is like insane ex-girlfriend DMs. Why is she so obsessed with them?
Cataclysm is threatening me, bullying me, and in her stream about me, the majority of it is her just insulting me.
You've never seen a vagina in real life, have you, Jesse? That's all I'm going to say.
Alongside...
Thank you, dude. Thank you for informing me about how he's never seen a vagina in real life. When you think that all girls who are white can't possibly have a brown... But you've seen a lot of vaginas, dude.
Baseless accusations with no actual substance. This was never going to be a fair conversation. She even says on the Papa Gut stream that she never intended to make any of this public, but then on that very same stream admits that she was recording the call without my knowledge or consent.
And I wasn't planning on on talking about it publicly.
If you were never planning to make this a public thing, why were you recording the call that we had? Why were you threatening to make this public? And why were you excitedly tweeting out about how much you wanted to expose me? Just a reminder.
Being a content creator is knowing you want to expose some people so bad, but you know their ass is going to sue, so you're forced to sit silently. I'll do it. I got your back at every step. Were these people in cahoots? Was Alice Hez, like, co-signing this? It's kind of weird.
Excitedly tweeting out about how much you wanted to expose me.
Oh,
Just a reminder, by the way, that Lewis was accusing me of being weird because I wanted to call. If we had to pick who was being weird here, is it me for trying to have a casual conversation with another YouTuber, or is it the one who was literally planning to entrap me over nothing from the start? There was never an attempt to get the truth or anything of the sort. This was always about trapping me and ending my career because I made a joke about the annoying orange. I thought we were having a casual conversation. I had no idea that I was being recorded whilst I was being interrogated about my former employment and my former boss, whom I have no involvement with. As far as I'm concerned, I made a stupid joke because I was annoyed that people were messaging me about my former boss. The fact that this has been blown to this scale over one throwaway joke that I didn't think much of at the time is terrifying. The two of you constantly talk about how you don't want to cancel me.
That I'm not intending to cancel him. I've spoke about this before. I don't particularly believe in cancel culture. It's kind of cringe. It defeats the whole purpose of...
But, like, when you say something like this, it doesn't really make sense, because why would somebody who's... Like, if you're defending a guy who beats women, why would you not deserve to be canceled? Which makes you think that they almost didn't even believe what they were saying at the same time? Because, like, if I found out that somebody who was a commentary YouTuber was defending someone who beats chicks, I'd be like, F that guy. That guy's an insane person, right? But these guys, like, on one hand will, like, imply that he's a horrible person and say it outright that he's like a misogynist woman beating defender, and then at the same time they'll be like, oh well, he doesn't deserve to be canceled. It's like, what the how do these two beliefs exist? What kind of cognitive dissonance is this?
Holding people accountable, because it just is ridiculous most of the time.
I only wish what he has brought on himself. Okay, his own decisions. I don't want him to be canceled. I don't want him to lose a job. I don't want him to be thrown off the face of the earth or sent into a pit,
like,
or
whatever. Why even say something like that? Why even say something like that in the first place? Like, you need to clarify your intentions that much? Like, this is the same thing as like that. I've never done anything wrong. Well, what did you actually do wrong? If you just bring that up out of nowhere, I don't want him to be canceled or lose his job or be thrown into a pit. Why even bring that up then?
What I want is for him to tell his audience the truth and stop lying to them.
I don't even think necessarily that Jesse, Danky Jabbo should just disappear offline and never return.
Let's be honest. If you didn't want to cancel me, you would not have approached me in the way that you did. You would not have made this many baseless accusations against me that do not accurately represent the conversations that took place between us. You wouldn't excitedly be tweeting about how much you wanted to expose me, and you wouldn't be saying shit like this on stream.
And it makes me feel like sad. Like I just want to like log into his channel and delete it. Like it needs to.
Oh my god, dude. I don't want him to be canceled, but I do want to log into his channel and delete it. I'll say it up front. I think she deserves to be canceled, okay? I think Lewis McClung deserves to be canceled. They do not deserve the platforms they have. They clearly have no media literacy, okay? These are delusional, crazy people who should not be trusted to call out anyone. They are fishing for drama. Clearly their motivation is not to do the right thing, ever. Their motivation is to farm drama off of people who did nothing wrong.
To be deleted.
I don't know about you, but those do not sound like the words of somebody who doesn't want me cancelled.
This video about Jesse, I wanted to make it still with a little respect in my heart for him as a human, right? He needs to live, he needs to make money, right? That's why I make it clear I don't want to end his...
Respect for him as a human? Why would you have respect for him as a human if he in your mind, he's defending someone who beats chicks up, like Conor McGregor? Bam, bam, bam! Not that Conor did that, I'm just saying, you know, like an MMA fighter would. Why would you have respect for someone as a human if they do that? Why? Why?
Career.
Do you have respect for I'm Alex? If I'm Alex was just honest about what he did, would you be like, oh, well, at least he said it. He should come back to YouTube.
It's not at all my prerogative.
Was it respectful when Cataclysm recorded a call without my knowledge or consent? Was it respectful when you uploaded a video on me giving me only one day to respond during the holidays? Was it respectful when you baselessly accused me of cheating on my girlfriend by flirting with Cataclysm? Was it respectful when you took 2 jokes I made 3 years ago about cartoon characters as proof that I'm a misogynist? Was it respectful when you told your audience that I was spreading racist rhetoric because of what was once again a harmless joke? Both of you have been anything but respectful. You have both tried to bully me into making an apology and levied your audiences against me. These lies and baseless accusations have been greatly damaging not just to my YouTube channel, but also to my personal life. And it's all based on pure conjecture, which is very ironic considering that you guys accuse me of trying to manipulate my audience when I have done everything to try and avoid...
Imagine this guy's girl seeing that and being like, what? Did you flirt with this girl? Is there something I should know about? Because she doesn't necessarily understand YouTube culture or allegation culture. She's just seeing this and like, what? Did you flirt with this girl? I thought we were in a relationship, you know? Like, these guys are like targeting his relationship, which is offline. Nobody knows anything about. Inadvertently.
Avoid being dragged into this petty gossip and drama. It's very clear to me that we had a very different upbringing and come from two very different parts of the world. To put jokes in your video that you know were jokes and use them to label me as a misogynist, as spreading racist rhetoric, and as an abuse apologist, I don't think I need to even explain how ridiculous that is at this point. This is my one and only response. We'll be right back to making normal videos now.
That was a very good response from Danky Jabel. He made a lot of points that I think needed to be made. He brought up a lot of stuff that I didn't even know about, which I think shows how dishonest Lewis McClung was and how dishonest Cataclysm was. And it's good to see these people get their comeuppance, but the unfortunate part is that I doubt their careers are going to suffer that much when they do deserve to have their careers suffer. Make no mistake, they do. Am I like super personally invested in this? No, I don't know any of these people. But at the same time, I would be lying if I said I wouldn't enjoy seeing them lose a bunch of subscribers and get their careers ruined over this, because they are terrible people. Now, we do have a lot of other stuff to go over from them, because Lewis McClung made a response stream, and they also made community posts, and they also made videos apologizing after the fact. It's a whole cringe fest. So we're going to get to that.
Busting off crazy like a 22 gay. It's the other kind of white meat. Wow. Look at the girth, and I hope you know that it's gonna hurt when I spurt. It's a drama alert.